What up? What up? Fantasy Football Hustler back at you, and we are bringing you fantasy news today. All this news kind of sucks. We'll just start crying now, about all this drama. But we got the Wednesday crew, well, -1, at least as of now. We got Bogard Scott free in the building, repping the GMM Network.
Yeah. Not having a dryer is a different life, man. I don't know if y'all can see everything, but I got all my clothes hanged out everywhere, bro, because this motherfucking dryer done busted on the kid.
Man, and they couldn't fix it yesterday when they came over?
It was like an Eastern European dude, and through the thick accent, all I heard was Molter. And then like, he has to order the piece, and it's going to take a long while.
Oh, shit.
And I said, man, I love your honesty, bro. But I did have to flash on him when he didn't have shoe covers. And he's like, well, I take off my shoes. It's fine. And I'm like, it's not fine, bro. I'm like, now that's even worse. Like you
don't know those stinky European feet around your house? Fuck that shit.
Hey, listen, man, I have nothing against Europeans. I think they're phenomenal. But I know they don't shower like, Shout out to everyone in the UK that's watching.
Yeah.
By the way.
And then regular recurring guest on the Wednesdays. We're also streaming on his YouTube channel right now as well, Fantasy Tyrant.
What's happening, bros? What's going on? Yeah, it's all a lot of bad news going on right now. All the COVID. I think I heard something like 75 players or something like that in the league or more are on a COVID protocol right now. Like fucking crazy.
So I don't know if Antonio was just throwing out numbers in there, but he said 62 positive COVID cases for the NFL. What the fuck? Got a lot of bye weeks. Yeah, luckily for anyone who has bye weeks this week, we can breathe a little bit easier.
You know what's crazy, bro? I missed out on a bye week in the D-Generation X League by 3-point-something points, right?
Whoa.
And it was my fault because my good old dependable Leonard Floyd, I cut him last week, picked up someone else. If I would have just kept him and played him, right? So I actually picked him back up like, please forgive me, right? Because no one ever fucks with Leonard Floyd but me. And he's those guys, he's never going to bust me. He might not super blow up, but he actually did lightweight on Monday. Anyways, now I'm going to lose because everyone's got COVID. I'm just going to die. I'm dying this week in that league.
Man, you did only win the game by like 1 point, it looks like, here against Steamboat Joe.
Yep, I still would have. I was already locked in the playoffs like 2 weeks ago, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, less than 3 points. Less than 4 points, I mean.
4 points, 3 points something. And then with Steamboat, I beat him by like 0.17 or some bullshit. It was like 222 to 222, damn near even.
And now I got to face Team Nino.
Who's that? And Nino Brown, he ain't playing. He's giving out turkeys for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, his team looks pretty legit, except Lamar Jackson is at the helm for him.
Oh, okay. And here's another thing.
And Baker Mayfield is his backup.
I don't really pay attention to other people's shit, right? Unless like something happens where we have to look. But like the person I'm playing, he got in because the person he played didn't set a lineup, and the bench literally scored more than his starting lineup. Like he would have won. And so now I'm playing this guy, but it might be this guy's destiny for all we know. You know what I mean? Destiny. Hey, you can't question destiny, bro.
Nope.
You can't question laziness. You know what I mean?
That you definitely can. Team Money, what up, bro? He said my Browns are dying. Huss, help! Like I don't even know how many Browns players are on COVID right now, but Baker is on the COVID reserve now.
Hey, listen. The Browns got so much COVID, even OBJ got it, bro. Fucking COVID residue from the Browns.
See, OBJ already had it. He just gave it to them all and then left.
There it is. I like your version better.
Let me shout out everyone who's in the chat. What up, Chris in the chat? Chris McGrill, Life and Sports Talk with Jake up in here. We'll get to these questions in a few. And Antonio's up in the building. JC Money in the building. What up?
Hey.
Uncle Buck on Twitch said, Bogardio, where's the baby? And he's got him now.
Yeah. She got her eyes locked on this bottle. She's very prompt Is that the word? Astute? What's the word when you're punctual? There you go.
There you go.
Always on time. 2 hours, she's going ham. You know what I mean? Say hi to the world, meatball. Yeah.
Austin, what up, bro? What's going on? And so Anthony, he shouted this out. He told me in a text message. He was like, bro, every time I tune into the show and Bogard's holding the baby, I end up winning that week. And so there he goes. Hey, he shouts it out. Bogard with the baby. I'm going to fucking win.
There you go. Hey, man. And you know what's funny is Antonio's, we have the same birthday, bro. I'm very superstitious where if something starts working, like, okay, if you see all the socks I have right there, right? These are all my game day socks. You know what I mean? Separate those from all my other socks because those are the, and then like if things aren't going for me, I'm changing the pair to another one of the game day socks. So I might go through like 4 pairs in a game or in the afternoon because of just until things start working for me. You know what I mean? And it's only crazy because it works.
Hey, I'm the same way with my underwear, but I'm not gonna like show you guys that. But you know, just take my word for it.
Oh, okay, so a couple years ago, I had it was in the winter, and I had laundry. It was laundry day, so I'm just wearing whatever I have available. You know what I'm saying? It happened to be a pair of swim shorts and a pair of dress socks, and one of my old wife beaters that had holes all in it. And bro, I must have so hard, and that like so I wore it the next day, and it worked again. And then the Thursday comes around. I have some players on a Thursday. I wear the getup, but it didn't work. So I washed it. Then I wore it again, and then it worked. So I was like, oh, I got to wash it every time. By the end of the season, this motherfucker was threads. You know what I mean? And I was just wearing the threads, bro. And it's cold as fuck, but I'm in the swim shorts. And I won the championships, and I swear it wouldn't have worked if I didn't wear that shit.
And man, Wesley up in here said, bang, bang, Niner gang. 30 NFC best, 32 playoffs, 12 first-round buys. Let's go. Hell yeah.
Say that again.
I'm an island boy in the building. What up, bro? Mike P says was able to make it this time. What up, fellas?
What's up, Mike?
Anthony says my baby is 1.5 walking around. It's amazing. First time daddy. There we go.
Hey, man,
represent dads.
I'll tell you this much. Don't take your eyes off them motherfuckers, bro. When they get to moving around, like, okay, my son, right? He's in his terrible twos right now. He's about to turn 3. But for those that y'all don't know, it goes terrible 2s, then horrible 3s, man. Because they get even more savage. But anyways, my son, his nickname is Gunna. Not because he's a shooter, but because he's gonna knock that down. He's gonna climb that. He's gonna fall. You know what I mean? So his nickname's Gunna.
There we go.
Yeah, my daughter's almost 2, and she's in the other room, kind of freaking out right now because she wants dad, but like mom's in there saying no, we gotta let him work, and so now they actually have the show on that so she can see her dad. So hi, Amelie, love you, baby.
Nice. There we go. And I'm an island boy. My daughter turns 2 next month, and she will be wild AF.
Same here. The 27th of January.
Nice. Yeah, Noble just turned 5, and let me tell you, I don't even know if there's a nickname for the 5-year-olds, but I don't think it's going to get any better. I just think you'll be able to bribe them a little easier as they get older. I think that's it.
Oh, yeah.
And, I'm an island boy. Says my daughter is in her terrible 2s early, I swear.
Same here.
Hell yeah. All right, let's see. About some good news before. Well, actually, let's just get into the real shitty news of the day. For those who haven't heard, DeAndre Hopkins is gonna miss the remainder of the regular season. Knee issue. We got to pour one out for DeAndre.
See, and this could almost lead to a debate on who's going to be the next big guy to step up.
Well,
and real quick, I'm an island boy. I said, dude, no way. My daughter's birthday is the 27th too.
Are you serious? They were born on the same fucking day then.
Hey, you know what's
Hell
crazy?
Yeah.
My son,
just before the COVID shit started. Yeah.
My son's birthday, same birthday as Hustler's, and my lady's birthday, the beautiful mother of all my children, January 27 as well. It's kind of crazy.
Damn.
The universe.
That's right.
It is the universe.
Nice.
Don't question the universe.
And Austin said, AJ Green to the moon. I hope so.
Yeah. See,
I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier, like it's like on the old Bugs Bunny cartoons when they're arguing rabbit season, duck season, and I was thinking green season, Kirk season, green season, Kirk season. I'm a Kirk season guy.
I will argue that is none of them, and it's gonna be difficult to pinpoint that shit because it already was. They spread the ball around a ton. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like last year and shit, I could see a connection happening between Kyler Murray and Christian Kirk. And I thought that was going to come to fruition, a lot more like this year as well. And it kind of has, here and there. And I just think it's going to be more of that. But I think you're right. It is going to be harder, still difficult to pinpoint. Still not going to be like, hey, I'm picking this guy for sure. But if I were to lean toward one getting the most, I guess, of his touches, I would probably lean toward Kirk.
If I have to lean, I am going to lean AJ Green though, because he's the X receiver, like, you know what I mean, like that. He played the X receiver with the Bengals, and like, him being opposite Hopkins, he really benefited being the number 2 because he was the number 1 for so long. So I do worry about AJ Green, and now even just saying all that out loud, maybe the play is Christian Kirk, because he'll be getting the secondary corners now. You know what I mean? And like AJ Green should draw number 1 coverage.
I think either way it's going to get ugly because Kyler, he could do so much with his legs. Like he can let people get open by the time. And I just feel like it's going to be one week, it's going to be someone, another week, it's going to be someone else. Randomly, it's going to be Rondale Moore sprinkling in one of these. Exactly. But I don't think that Arizona, like, there's already some people that I see like, oh, Arizona's like going to be a one and done, in the playoffs. Like, how many games have they had Hopkins for this year? Like, not that many.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's another thing: is if you look at their schedule, it was incredibly soft. Like, then they run into teams like Green Bay trounces them. You know what I mean? They ran into
trounced them. They beat them by 3 points.
No, but that was if you watch that game, they were beating them by 2 possessions. That was all in let them get the ball back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that was super clear. You know what I mean? And he played horrible too. And you know what? This is how I'm just gonna sum up the Cardinals in fantasy this year. Because of course we had some awesome Kyler Murray moments, but it's all James Conner, man.
Yeah,
James Conner. I'm only mad because I have 0 James Conner. But whoever else, all of y'all that have him, man, take a bow.
I mean, Chase Edmonds, when he comes back in PPR, he'll be a good flex option. But other than that, yeah, I agree. It's been a big year for Connor. Absolutely.
Let's see. How about some? Let me see. Is there anyone else that we need to talk about in a bad way? I mean, Rex Burkhead, he's going to be out for Sunday's game. I don't know if I'm trusting anybody in that backfield. It's David Culley, David Johnson, and Royce Freeman. I know everyone's getting hyped about Royce to 5'9" Freeman. I'm not too hyped about it.
I mean, I think that of the Texans running backs right now, I'd probably be going after Royce Freeman, but I don't want to be going after the Texans running backs, period. So there you go.
Yeah, it ain't looking good. Josh Allen, limited in practice. So we just think that a guy like that, it's probably not even going to practice on a Wednesday being banged up. Getting into limited practice is a little bit more promising.
The problem though, from what I heard, was that there's a possibility of it being a Liz Frank. And if that's the case, I'm a little worried for the playoffs.
Ruled out the Liz Frank.
What's that?
I read they already ruled out the Liz.
They did? All right, good.
I mean, but I haven't went down the rabbit hole, so I don't know if that's really true or not. You know what I mean?
I hope you're right. I really do. Because I would hate to having Josh, even if I don't own it in any of my leagues, having Josh Allen out for the fantasy playoffs, that's a bummer.
That would suck.
How about this scenario, right? Well, actually, real quick on the Josh Allen, there's some place I read they're calling it a foot, and they did say possible Liz Frank. Then the other ones that are the other ones are from him talking about it's a toe. You know what I mean? So I don't really know. That's why I said I don't know if we should rule out anything we read. But here's another thing that's crazy about this time of year. When you look at teams that are already positioned, like the Cowboys, you know what I'm saying? The Cowboys, they win this week, and Washington loses. They win their division. They could just be like, all right, we're not going to move no higher than 3 and no lower than 4. We're just going to sit everybody. You know what I mean?
So I was just looking at the most recent update. It says that it's just a mild foot sprain. He did avoid the Liz Frank, and he is limited in practice. So I mean, look, they call him day to day. Hopefully, he plays this week. But that's good news that he escaped that. Yeah.
And let's see who else we got here. We got Vanessa said Rondell Moore, AJ Green if Hopkins doesn't play. Yeah, Hopkins is done for the rest of the regular season. He's droppable in fantasy right now if you need a spot. And I said both are available in my league. I'd get both if you can, but AJ Green's my priority.
Yeah. AJ Green is the more solid play. Rondell Moore's kind of your home run hitter, and he could be a lottery ticket, you know. But I'd say if you have to choose between one of them, you need a solid start on your team. Go with AJ Green.
Here's the thing with Rondell Moore, man. That was supposed to be really fun to have Rondell Moore be a thing, but like I don't know. He's a return guy. You know what I mean? Like it looked like they were working him into the game plan the first couple of weeks because he was flashing. You know what I mean? He had a couple good fantasy outings and then immediately busted for everybody the next week. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He's a DFS player.
I remember that one all too well.
Let's see. So Michael Carter designated to return off IR, and coaches already say that he's going to play. To what degree? Who the hell knows? But he'll be out there. Some of us need him.
Hooray!
Start him up.
Michael Carter.
And for the Eagles, all right, so Jalen Hurts, so he has the high ankle sprain. That's what it is. He's splitting reps with Gardner Minshew. According to Hurts, he says he's going to play. But, splitting reps, that's really all we know as of now. And then Miles Sanders, he's stomping around the yard saying his ankle feels good and that he's really confident that he's going to play this week.
What would be dope? It'd be like, they're like, Miles Sanders, how's your ankle doing? He just breaks a bunch of bricks with a sidekick. Pretty good.
Cobra Kai, bam.
And especially, I didn't fact check the person who said it, but Washington, with all their COVID cases, supposedly they have about 7 defensive linemen that are on COVID right now.
Damn.
Yeah, and they're also going to be down 2 starting linemen, 2 starting offensive linemen, just to injury. So, I'm really worried about Mike Gibson. I'm just telling you, bro, the Jets, it's all going to hell. I think
Philadelphia, the Eagles defense are a good pickup this week.
Yeah, definitely. If they're available still.
I was about to say they're like the hottest streaming option. They're even one of those defenses, like I was telling people to hold if you could over the bye week. You know what I mean? Because of this matchup. Like, I'm not afraid of Taylor Heineke and none of them. You know what I mean? Like they're not afraid to turn it over a few times.
Yeah. And let's see. Sanford here said start 3: Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, Cook, Carter, Williams, Michelle. I mean, it's the first 3, and I don't even think that it's close. Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones, and Cook.
Right.
Yeah.
Easy.
Oh wait, Javonte Williams. That's the Williams.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and
I'll go Javonte Williams over Jacobs.
Who do Jacobs got? They got
Browns.
They got the Browns. Yeah, that's a good run defense. Yeah.
In that case, if it's Javonte Williams,
Not if all their players are out on COVID. This might not be a good run defense.
You know what though? Josh Jacobs, he worked his way right back onto my shit list really fucking fast. Because the last 3-4 weeks, even I remember Tyrant, it was on your birthday episode. There was somebody asking like Josh Jacobs, or anybody else, and I was like, well, it depends who, because at that moment, Josh Jacobs not somebody you could sit. He was getting he went on to get 9 receptions that day.
Yeah, he had 24 fantasy points. It was a good game for him.
Yeah, so you know what I mean? Like, but against a division rival, when the game script went the wrong way, it was all bad for him. You know what I mean? So maybe the game script is in favor. I'd probably take Jacobs slightly over Williams this week just because of Melvin Gordon's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And Uncle Buck said, I'm taking a bow, Bogard. Fuck yeah. He said Connor, but now he's questionable to start for the playoffs. He ain't no punk. I need him to play. He's got that ankle issue. We haven't heard anything new about it as of yet.
Hey, you know what? He definitely ain't no punk. I love James Conner's story, man. Like, hometown kid from Pittsburgh, beat cancer. You know what I mean? And just the injuries and all that, and even the COVID year last year, he never said this, but like I feel like he didn't really want to play with all the protocols being all wonky last year, because he has pre-existing medical conditions, and you know what I mean. And last year, our knowledge of COVID was like it was more frightful. You know what I mean? Like when you don't know much about something, you know what I mean. It's more scarier. You feel me? And like he's just got a crazy resurgence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He looks better in Arizona. Like he looks slimmer. Like he looked like kind of bulky in a Pittsburgh jersey. Maybe it's because it's black, makes him look whiter, I guess. You know what I mean? But like he just looked hella slim, bro. And he's eating, man. I hope he comes back for everybody that got him, because he's like he's him and Cordell Patterson are like the surprise like breakouts of the year. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
All right, let me knock out the rest of this news real quick, just real quick. So we're not even going to comment on this. Dolphins, Malcolm Brown returning to practice today. Tony Pollard limited in practice today for the Cowboys. Swift and Hawkinson not practicing today. For the Bengals, Trey Hendrickson will be limited all week. For the Niners, Elijah Mitchell not at practice today. For the Chargers, Derwin James, Austin Eckler, Keenan Allen, all there practicing during the open portion of practice. For the Bengals, Joe Burrow won't practice today, but it sounds like he's on track to play Sunday, barring any setbacks. Sam Darnold, he's been designated to return off of IR, but Matt Rule already came out and said he's not like practicing. He's still probably about a week or two away from that. So I think they have 21 days to actually like fully activate him as of this point. So we're going to be waiting a week or two.
I'm trying to remember what his injury was. Sam Darnold. I remember. I remember. His feelings were hurt.
DJ Moore limited in practice, so that's promising after pulling the hammy.
Now we need Sam Darnold to come back, and we can rekindle the early season magic.
For the Chiefs, L'Jarius Sneed and Willie Gay are out for tomorrow's game. And then for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson not practicing, and John Johnson is signed off of the Jets practice squad.
That's telling.
Bro, the quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, man, they should have just had him in,
Josh Johnson, my bad. Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
Man, they should have just had him play, bro. Him and Mike White. You know what I'm saying? They were making everything fantasy viable over there. Because there's going to be a lot of pass attempts for a garbage team. And like Zach Wilson's pass attempts are just garbage. You know what I mean?
Shit. Adam Schefter said on NFL Live there's like 95 potential COVID cases in the NFL as of today.
Jesus.
And counting.
So speaking of which, actually, I want to go back to what you were saying about the Dolphins real quick with Malcolm Brown coming in. That is very interesting because they face the Jets this week, who we know give it up to running backs, and all the other running backs right now have COVID or they're on the COVID protocol. And we got to see if Gaskin makes it through the protocol by then. They might. They definitely might. If they do, obviously, you start Gaskin and stuff. But if no one else is available, that might be a sneaky play, Malcolm Brown.
You got to really be in a pinch in your playoffs to do this, because that's.
Bless you.
Bogey's in the Matrix.
It's definitely a bold play. But I mean, it could pay off, is what I'm saying.
Definitely,
it's interesting. It's interesting, at least.
Definitely could. All right, we're gonna let Bogey get back up in here, but then we're gonna start our. Well, actually, let me see if there's any other news that came in first before we start our next segment. Melvin Gordon is practicing. So Elijah Mitchell, I guess they were working on the side, but it still counted as like a do not practice.
Yeah, that's one to keep an eye on for sure. I honestly, I'm not starting anybody in that backfield unless it's Elijah Mitchell.
Yeah, and Chargers said that Rashawn Slater, the left tackle, will be out Thursday, and Darren Waller not practicing. Surprise, surprise.
God, I'd love to see Boston Moreau, actually turn it on, but we haven't seen it yet.
No, I mean, well, we saw him score a touchdown, but
yeah, I mean, we've seen there was a few weeks ago he had a really good game, but other than that, it's just not been that startable.
Yeah, and Tino said, "Call me up, NFL. I'm vaccinated and COVID free." There we go. And Chase said, you guys still like the Browns defense despite COVID? I could play the Colts versus the Pats, Broncos versus the Bengals. I'm playing the Colts versus the Pats.
Oh, yeah.
Way too nervous about the Browns right now. And Antonio said, if that happens, I'm starting Tino as my RB1. And Big Kong, as long as Debo is healthy, it will never be Jeff Wilson.
Exactly.
That's for sure.
Right.
Or Hasty.
That's why I like Ayuk to end this season, because they're going to be using Debo so much as a running back too. You know.
Yeah.
We saw that happen in this last game. He caught one touchdown and actually earlier almost had another. So, you know,
and life
turned around.
Yeah. Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, I hope y'all get the dub the first week of the playoffs. Let's get it. We need it. We need it. And Austin said, I want to grab Jeff Wilson, but I got no problem. I got no one to drop. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't drop anybody like good for Jeff Wilson. Doesn't seem like there's a reason.
No.
And Sanford said, how do you feel about Jimmy G versus Atlanta if Allen can't go? I like it.
I think it's a good play. I think he's actually been playing pretty well. I mean, even from a fantasy standpoint, I'd say he gets at least 20 points in that game.
Yeah, he's been solid. Yeah, and then forget about it. If he runs one of them in, yeah. What up, Pam? Said, should I drop Jeff Wilson? What about in Dino? Not in Dynasty. For sure not in Dynasty. Don't drop him. But redraft, I think he's droppable.
I mean, it depends on who you drop him for. But, yeah, I mean, keep him around Dynasty. But yeah, otherwise.
Chase said, did Bogard get banished to the show realm again? Here he is.
There he is.
It's funny because I know how it happens, because when I'm on my phone, it's when somebody hits me. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it sends me right into the abyss. And it's funny because it's like, I swear it's another version of me in a multiverse telling one of my homies, call him right now. He's in the middle of a take. You know what I mean?
It's Luigi.
It's always right when I'm in the middle of a rant.
Yep. Just hating, just steady hating. All right. Well, we're going to start the second portion of this show. We're going to start the circle. This is the debut of the circle. TD was supposed to be here. He is MIA as of right now.
More like a triangle this week.
Yeah. And so what we're going to be doing is you guys are going to be the hosts of the show now, where you're going to dictate what we're going to debate on. So let's throw some debatable sports topics down here. Throw them in the chat. And let's see what we got here, and we're all gonna give some takes, and then you guys are gonna vote on who you think won the debate. They're gonna be short and sweet. Let's see what you guys put in. I'm gonna smoke this bowl while we get ready.
Yes, I'm so excited to argue. I mean, debate.
Yeah, I'll call it arguing. And we're not going to debate this, but here's just a question on who do I start, Dak, Allen, or Fields?
Goes.
We gotta wait for the injury news on Allen. So as of right now, I think I'll say Dak, because Fields is kind of hurt too.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at Prescott either. Like, that's some crazy. Oh yeah, start two. Yeah, Prescott and Allen. I'm starting the injured guys.
Yeah,
and I'm an Island boy's not playing around. He said he just went to the top one and said LeBron versus Kobe. I mean LeBron versus Jordan. So I don't even want to take the LeBron side. Is there anybody?
Jordan.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Jordan too.
Jordan never lost. He never lost. He got the chip. He wins the chip. That's it.
Is there people in the chat who are going to debate the LeBron side? Because we can each give one of our points and get the LeBron side coming back.
Jordan beat the mob too. You know what I mean? The mob was like, "Oh, you don't want to do what we want you to do." Boom, killed his pops. And then he was like, "All right, I'm out." And then he came back and got 3 more of them things for the mafia. They're like, "Now it's time for you to go back and win." When you beat the mob, you beat the odds.
Yep, and he still has he's still tied for the lead in the NBA all first team defense. Because that was something that no one's ever done, winning like the MVP, the finals MVP first team all defense, like all those kind of things. He's still the only person to win all those awards in a single year.
I'd say overall as a scorer, I like Jordan better. I think he's better scorer. I think James, though, he's more, when it comes to rebounds and assists, I give the nod to him. But as far as defense in general, Jordan was the guy, led the league in steals 3 times. In general, as a defender, I got to give him the nod there. So overall, I think Jordan was the better player.
Because the part of the debate that I never get is like, it's almost like defense completely gets left out, and people are like, oh, but LeBron, he gets way more rebounds and way more assists than Jordan. I mean, the thing is like, if Jordan never gave up the ball, they were usually giving it back to him, so they could get the assist. Let Jordan score and do his thing. And the points and all that, I mean, shit, LeBron's in an era where like average scores are like 100 to 110.
Jordan, he said, fuck it, and took it all down. LeBron was like, I'm going to try to keep it.
It got brought up.
Just shake your head, LeBron. And now miraculously, his hairline is back. You know why? Because he bought it.
Hair club for men. He's not just the president. He's also a client.
And here's the thing. I know with social media, it makes regular people be celebrities, right? Because what's celebrity? But maybe a celebrity in its simplest form is someone that everybody knows, right? See, but when you were a celebrity back then, you were polarizing. Nobody can get near you. Nobody can talk to you. Nobody can write no fucked up articles about you. None of that. You know what I'm saying? That was Michael Jordan, a phenom. You know what I mean?
I mean, he was an icon around the world. Kids recognized, I think at one point, kids recognized him more than Santa Claus. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, as far as far-reaching like that, LeBron, a lot of people knew who he was, but Kobe was playing at the same time, and now we've got, Steph Curry. You got other players that are in the conversation. At that time, there was no one really else in that conversation when you're talking about at least the dynasty era, in the 90s. Yeah, no one else in that conversation. As much of a Blazers fan as I'd love to say Clyde Drexler, no one else in that conversation.
Clyde the Glide.
Clyde the Glide.
So here's one from Antonio. I don't even know how we do this, but he said, who's the best fantasy football analyzer?
Jake Silly. That's my favorite.
Of all time?
It's not Matthew Berry.
It ain't Matthew Berry. No, I fucking killed him and all his squad in their show league. Fuck that. No, that's a good question.
Hey, listen, us motherfuckers right here, bro. Next.
The reason why I started doing this is because I just felt everybody that I watched was boring as hell. Really, the only podcast that I listened to for the longest time were the footballers and the 06010, the ESPN shit, and then a lot of it ended up being fast forwarding through a bunch of stuff. And like
you and I both, that's exactly why I started my show too. It's like, wow, I could do better than that. I do. Every time I go with my picks over their picks, I win. Because I studied it, I've learned it, just like you. They're picking and saying, I think, who they're told to. They get the money, they get to say, what they have to say. We're not bought out. We're just saying what we know from our experience, what we use and do every week to win. And that's so in that way, I mean, it is us. But if you want to say like, who's our favorite, fuck shit, I don't know.
I'll tell you who my favorite are. I got 3 of them: Adam Rank, James Coe, and Marcus Grant, and it's because they showed love. That was it. Fuck everybody else. They kept it true to California.
I say, if I say there's my top 3, I would definitely have Adam Rank on that list. Love the guy, not just because I'm a wrestling fan too, but his danger zone dives and shit, like they're legit. That's legit.
One day we're gonna be able to. One day we're gonna be able to produce some shows like them.
Fuck yeah, we are.
Hey, bro,
we're starting right now.
Oh yeah, we're all self-produced. They can't. I mean, they will agree because Adam Rank already told me when he came onto my show. He was like, "Man, I wish he was like, you made that intro," and I was like, "Yeah," and he was like, "Yeah, I wish I could do stuff like that."
Yeah, it's when you're work for like, when you're corporate or network, whatever the fuck, have you, right? You know what I'm saying? Like you're naturally going to have these restrictions. You know what I mean? Like that, man, I'm scot-free for a reason. I can't wait till somebody gives me a fucking life-changing deal on the table and I go, shove that shit up your ass. Right? And because it's going to entail where we can't be who we want to be. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, my lawyer might be like, nah, bro, go sign that shit.
we're gonna build this up to where we're hiring people to work, with us and doing this kind of shit for us, to where we're just talking in front of the camera and we're paying people to get all the behind the scenes shit.
That's what's great about the 420 crew. We're coming up from, we're grassroots. We're coming up, but we're gonna fucking take over. We'll be there eventually. We're gonna be doing what you want to do, Bogey, but we're gonna be making the money doing it. It's got to start somewhere. All right, here it is.
That's the slogan right there. The 420 crew. We got grassroots. You know what I'm saying? Pun intended.
Here you go, right here. Chase, boom. He said the only channel who told me Barkley over Terry last week. Enough said. There we go. I'm getting you that extra entry right now, Chase, into the Darius Leonard signed jersey giveaway.
Hey, speaking of signed jersey giveaways, real quick, I just want to say, I still got this going on. All right, it's the fucking Swift jersey, the signed Swift, DeAndre Swift jersey. All right, for those of you who are my fans, or if you're not, check it out. I've got a contest going on too. You're donating via Venmo, PayPal, or whatever. Half donations this month are going to Dornbecker Children's Hospitals, so you can help my show stay alive, help kids stay alive, and win yourself a signed jersey. Just saying real quick. Yeah, there you go.
That's why Pam just said the Fantasy Tyrant is the GOAT Tyrant Gang. Hell yeah.
Oh, thank you, Pam.
Hell yeah. And Antonio,
one of these days.
And Antonio said he just set us up. He said, I was waiting for you three to say, no, it's me. I always take, whenever we're talking about stuff, I always take myself out of the equation. Because, if it's, I would always say me, like, fuck it. Like, got to believe that.
I had to get real Bogardish one time. You feel me? I was like, you know what are we doing here? It's us. No, but you know what, though? You know why I say it's us, though? Because I've got to work with you fine gentlemen for a while, and including TD as well. We're like, you get to trusting someone's opinion / ideology, because, or philosophy, whatever it is, because, what I'm saying, the more information you can get can help make your decision more accurate. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to make some of these calls. Like, people like Jalen Guyton or Josh Palmer. You would have got either or, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, I was on Josh Palmer. You know what I mean?
I was on Guyton.
It was so funny because, like, we could have debated that until the cows came home, and
and it wouldn't matter.
People could have been tinkering the entire time, and they still ended up with the exact same amount of points.
I know,
right?
That's so funny.
That's how good we are.
That's awesome too, because both sides were right, and I mean, we both hit the nail on the head. It ended up being the exact same amount of points.
When you make the case and it hits, people will remember that shit.
That's right.
I remember those things for all those analysts we were talking about. I remember more their hits than I do their misses, because a lot of them be missing like a motherfucker. You know? Jake Silly.
Except no one will forget Barry's miss on Michael Vick. No one will forget that shit.
Exactly. Like, you know what? I'll never fuck with him forever, for life.
I remember his miss on Danny Pesos, like, the My Guy of the Year and making his stamp for it. I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
It was 2020. It was 2020 because
he's been hitting. I don't think he's hit on a My Guy since Josh Jacobs. And even then, I mean, that's still like 2018 or 19. But
I've been hitting on my guys.
He was all over Ridley. He was all over CEH.
I've been hitting on my guys since Kareem Hunt, and I bring this up to say because that's what made me be on Clyde like a motherfucker. Two different types of players, but just the fact that Andy Reid's running backs to me in my fantasy life, that I hold them near and dear to my heart. So I was pulling up CEH in the first round last year. That was my big miss last year. You know
my favorites for myself, we were talking about ourselves this year. My favorite hit this year was definitely it's got to be Dawson Knox in the preseason saying, "Hey, I've been hearing this bromance brewing. Dawson Knox is going to be big this year, and then saying that as every analyst had Ryan Tannehill as a top 10 QB, I was like, nah, no, I don't have. I have him out. Put Cousins in there. Hey,
I mean, but see, Cousins was coming off of a career year. 4,500 passing yards, or actually not 4,500, but it was definitely well over 4,000. Wow, and he had the career numbers was in the passing TDs, 36. You know what I mean? And like he's on pace. You know what I mean? Like he's wrecking shop. He's for fantasy purposes. We love that.
It's crazy how off people were on Cousins, and I mean, shit. Like I got Cousins in the Scott Fish Bowl, like hella late. People were off him. I got him in the
because he's boring to them. That's why I call him Corky Kirk. Ain't nobody's like if you're in a buffet of all these incredible fantasy QBs, ain't nobody in line for Kirk Cousins, bro. You know what I mean?
And you heard this? Austin said, "Do y'all know the fantasy football end game?" Do not know.
No.
This is the end game.
Austin said, "I ordered a camera hustle. Once it gets in, I'm ready to come on. Make sure you have a Bluetooth or get some kind of microphone, even if it's like a $40 one or one that's not really too much. But you got to have a microphone. Don't just use your computer mic.
Don't be like Bogard every day using the phone."
And Antonio said, 420 crew, light that shit, smoke that shit, pass that shit. Yeah.
And what's crazy is before COVID hit, right? I was already like, I got to a point where like I'm smoking my own shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, is that rude? Like, I'll roll up shit for other people, but I like taking mine to the face.
Yeah, I mean, it really, it depends on the situation, but especially right now with like COVID and stuff, like I'd rather be just smoking on my own joints.
Well, because it's kind of like it's like some Native American ceremonious shit when you meet cats. That's kind of like the unwritten brotherhood. Like we're about to smoke, and we're about to partake together.
You just do one of these. Just do one of those. And that's me. See, we all have different opinions on everything, including how we handle that kind of situation. For me, I'm like, fuck it, dude. Give me my antibodies, man. Fuck it.
I know. Listen, I got so much OCD. The world changed me. You know what I mean? Because I was that guy. Like, it's funny. Shout out to the Heart to Start Fantasy Football Podcast. When they're out here in Sacramento up north, so I actually went out to rock with them in their studio. And like, we rolled up hella backwoods and we just smoking like old days, you know what I mean? And but it was because like I had this camaraderie with them. It felt like, even though it's the first time I'm meeting them, I didn't mind sharing something with somebody. They weren't grimies, you know what I mean? Like, if I don't know you,
you gotta trust your gut, man. You gotta trust your gut.
And real quick for Perry, he said, I'm not a complainer, but I've asked questions for the last 3 weeks, and they always get skipped. If you come in on this show, the Fantasy News Today show, we don't answer every single question. This isn't a question and answer, session. We're talking about the news. Today, we've kind of been bullshitting a little bit.
Hey, did he put his question in there, though? Let's answer his question.
We'll go see what it was.
Hey, because he said he comes here every day. He's trying to get the question asked. Let's answer his question, because I don't want him to not come back here every day. Because that's the key part I heard in there. Is that I'm here every day. Y'all don't fuck with me.
I know that we've answered your questions before, Perry, because I wouldn't remember your name if we didn't answer them. But he said, start Pittman or DJ Moore if healthy. Well, the thing is about DJ Moore, we don't know if he's going to be healthy. So right now I'm saying Pittman. Yeah. The Friday practice is most important for DJ Moore. So don't take my Wednesday.
From what I'm hearing about Moore, it sounds like he's not going to be healthy. So yeah, I mean, I definitely go Pittman. I mean, if you're really asking the question, if like let's pretend he's going to be healthy, I'm still going with Pittman. I just think, I'm not trusting anything going on right now for Carolina outside of, well, no one actually.
I mean, listen, it's going to be Pittman here because DJ Moore. He is trending on playing, right? If you practice, if you limit it today, you're trending. But you know what I'm saying? Barring that. Because I'd rather play DJ Moore. I don't like fooling with New England secondary. They're hella good. You know what I mean? Like Jason.
Well, Buffalo's giving up the fewest fantasy points to wide receivers. I mean, they're damn good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of that's skewed because now Trey White's not there.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. I mean, they just got shredded last week. Granted, it's Brady, but nonetheless, they did whatever they wanted to do. You know what I mean? that Buffalo's defense didn't really show up until like the fourth quarter when they kind of Homer Simpsoned it. You know what I mean? We're like now the Bucks they're a little sluggish here. You know
and yeah, there's a very recent update here, Bogey. You're right. It does say that Matt Rule expects DJ Moore to play. So that's actually a very legit question. Then, yeah, I mean, you could go 50-50, honestly, on that one. For me, it is.
Yeah. It just sucks because all of a sudden Cam Newton comes through and he's like, remember he made all the Simba comments? He was like, when I left, DJ Moore was Simba. He's like, but I'm back and I'm Mufasa. He said some shit like that. And then he has like a bro
that guy,
Robbie Anderson, bro.
Yeah,
and his first pass his first pass back in Carolina. She's all. It's funny because she can't see it. She's all laughing and screaming. Anyways, his first pass was a touchdown pass to Robbie Anderson, the string bean.
Yeah,
and on this show, I was called crazy. Even by myself, I was calling myself crazy because I was saying Robbie Anderson was a stream. I mean, it was kind of easy because of Atlanta, but I was like, they got rid of Joe Brady, and if you're a smart organization, you're like, we fired him because he wasn't using the guy we're paid a big bag to. You feel me? They paid Robbie in the offseason, not to not use him.
I wasn't on last week, or I would have been the one agreeing with you. And I got called crazy for the same shit. But I was telling everyone, Robbie Anderson, I had him as one of my sleepers.
Yeah. He was the stream being last week, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I would still temper my expectations chasing down the stream being now if we missed out on it because like I said, partly I mean, a big part of it was he was playing Atlanta. And they're really bad, except outside of like AJ Terrell in their secondary. You know what I mean?
And what up, Jarrett? Shout out to the Who Dat Nation. He said CMC isn't draftable as RB1 or 2 anymore, too injury prone. He's probably not going to go 1 or 2 anymore, but he might go number 3 or number 4 or number 5.
He's going to be that third round. He's going to be 2022's Joe Mixon. You know what I'm talking about? Because
I was even going to say like 2017 Todd Gurley.
I like that, but see, there's too many components. Like I want to see what kind of coach they're gonna bring in to really jump out the window like that. Like, because I was excited for Joe Brady because he was creative. I don't know what he did this year. He kind of like outcoached himself, or everyone expected shit now. Because last year, I mean, they caught everyone off guard.
Yeah,
for purposes, you know what I mean. And it was Teddy B, and it's not like it was Teddy B because then it's not like he went over there to the Broncos and like everyone's eating over there. No, it was a system. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really important for me to know what system they're going to put in play there for me to be like, all right, seems he's the guy. You know why we like Joe Mixon? Not only because he's and this is debatable because I'm on the side that I believe he's a top 5 talent at the running back position. Joe Mixon. He's a phenomenal route runner. You know what I'm saying? He's like better Le'Veon Bell, right? But he couldn't stay healthy. And the reason we do like him is because Zach Taylor's there. Zach Taylor was in the building with Sean McVay. All those years, Todd Gurley was awesome. You know what I mean? So there's little components here that where it's like, okay, this CMC's a real value here this year. Like, you know what I mean? Like, say they bring over like say they bring over like one of Cliff Kingsbury's disciples or something like that, or maybe even what's his name, Eric Bieniemy or something like that. Someone like real creative. I'll be like, hell yeah, I'm on CMC. Otherwise, I think he's also in that range where he's old now. He's getting to the age and the mileage is there. Like, you got to think, hey man, we're paying this guy not to be hurt. You got to think they're gonna use like a Chuba or somebody, like, you know what I mean? It's not just gonna be him 85% of the time anymore. I refuse to believe that.
Yeah, and to that point, for sure, I think that because what he's saying here is, an RB1 or RB2 overall. Absolutely, I agree. I don't think so. I think Jonathan Taylor's up there. We might even be speaking about Najee Harris, at some point up there. I mean, I think CMC's still a first round guy, but yeah, I mean, I don't think he's a number 1 or number 2, regardless of the system, just because I think, you're right. He's getting older. He's more injury prone at this point. And I'm worried about him.
Not a number 1 or 2 first round, but he's definitely a back end RB1 still for me. Like he's gonna be finished like 12. He's gonna finish like he's a top 15 back. There you go.
Yeah,
this is why everyone needs to play in a super flex league, because that's where you might be able to get CMC at a value. You just play in a regular 1 QB league, he's going in the first round. Might be definitely the middle, might be the end. But you get in a super flex league, now's where you might see him drop to the end of the second. Maybe randomly ends up in the third because people are really just off him so much. But yeah, that's why you got to get into some super flex leagues.
If you get one of those later picks in that round, in the first round, then you could go CMC and get your quarterback, and boom, there you go.
Will the Cowboys go to the NFC Championship game? Says Second Take Extra. I don't think so, especially not now, as much as they're banged up to shit right now. Because we're talking about they're going to have to go through, I mean, either the Cardinals, Packers, or Buccaneers, more than likely.
Yeah. Will they go to the NFC Championship game? Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's possible, but yeah, I know. I think you're right. I think there's too many obstacles in there.
I think if I was to say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give them a 4, because they like I said, they might not. They're not going to go no higher than the 3rd seed or no lower than the 4th, because I'll be damned if they don't win this fucking division, because there is a area where
they'll win the division easy.
Yeah. Not even. I don't even think it's mathematically possible for them to lose it at this point.
Well, they would have to lose. They would have to lose our game, and then Washington win out. You know what I mean? So our game, and then also get beat by Washington. So they need 2 losses, I should say.
Yeah, but see, I mean, Washington and the Eagles play each other this week, and they play each other again. So, I mean, there's a lot that would need to happen. They could lose out, and I don't think that anyone catches up.
They just need Washington to lose this week, and they win this week. Then the division's theirs this week.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
Eagles are tied with Washington, so whichever one of them wins, it's still mathematically possible for one more week after this week, no matter what, unless the Cowboys, if the Cowboys win, then it's over also.
Hit that Lord Christmas.
Hold on. Where is it?
So you're telling me there's a chance?
Yeah. Listen, they're going to end up playing the Rams in the first round, or maybe my crazy old Wiley Niners can get in there, or our Niners, me and Ty over here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, I think it's going to come down to that last game between the Rams and Niners. I think that's the winner takes the 5th seed.
No, well, see, either way, as I'm saying, like, as long as we're in that thing, so I'm not mad, because the road, the destiny is the road that we ain't steering, right? But when it comes to having your destiny in your hands, right? The Cowboys definitely do with this division. Like, they're locked into the playoffs already. You know what I mean? What they need to do is get healthy. How do you do that? Maybe if you're locked in, or when you're locked in, you just sit everybody. You feel me? And let Cooper Rush get like valuable reps, and let them figure out. Because you hear? I text Hustle this. One of my man. Shout out to my guy Nancy. That's my bro right there. He sent me some shit. It was about how they're toying with the idea of running Micah Parsons as a secondary running back, because he played running back in high school. And like, I went and looked it up, bro. You know what I'm saying? He had like 1,200 yards rushing. He had like 27 TDs. I was like, oh shit.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? So they might be, but see, this also tells me if you're toying with this idea, that's how hurt your backfield is. You know what I mean? Zeke's all the way beat up, you know what I mean? And sluggish.
How's that work for IDP? Yeah?
That would be awesome. I mean, what? He's a secondary option. That means something has to happen to Zeke. And I don't think or maybe he is getting in there 8 to 9 carries in a game. You know what I mean? Like getting like the Tony Pollard type of workload on the ground. You know what I mean? But Pollard is on route to play. So I'm just saying, this is what they were toying with. They were toying with this idea of him, perhaps if Pollard can't go.
And it would just be icing on the cake. Whatever points he got for offense, that would just be added to his, overall total.
Well, I think if they were to do it, it'd be kind of like a bus sort of thing, where it'd just be like, goal line situation. They just need someone to bust through the line to get the touchdown. Something like that. I could see them doing that. But otherwise, yeah, I think Pollard's coming back. It's just going to be those two guys.
Yeah.
Zeke and Pollard.
And Jonathan said, I just picked up AJ Green. Would you start him over Higgins, Ayuk, Parker, Osborne? I'm going to drop one of them eventually because I put Carter on my IR, and other receivers are Chase and Renfro.
Huh.
I think as of right now, I think I want to start Ayuk out of this bunch.
I do like
Ayuk or Higgins.
Green, though, but I don't really know who to drop over there.
Yeah, it's tough.
I'm leaning if I have to. I see. The thing is, if you're over those guys, yeah, I'd want all of those guys over Green personally.
Okay, here's my Ayuk. Here's my Ayuk breakdown right here. Check this out. This is good. I was thinking about this morning. So when Mitchell's not there, Debo's a running back. When Debo's a running back, Ayuk gets all the looks, and Kittle gets all the looks. Like Debo makes those guys. Debo as a running back makes all those guys startable fantasy.
Yeah.
I think you were in the Matrix earlier when I was saying this exact same thing.
Oh, word. See,
yeah, like almost word for word, dude.
Right. See, that's awesome.
You and I, man. Sagittarius is
right real. Here, bro. I might have grabbed it from the source field this morning when I was thinking about it. And by source field, I mean the shitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I don't call my Sunday morning show the Tinker Stinker Power Hour for nothing.
And Evan, he says, need help, guys. PPR, play 3. Eckler, Jacobs, Mitchell, Monty, CEH. So Eckler, if he plays, which it sounds like he's on track to play.
Yeah.
Jacobs. I think with all the guys out for Cleveland, I think it's going to be all right game for Jacobs.
Mm-hmm. Here's son, where's your goal?
And I mean, I want Mitchell if he plays. We just don't know if he's going to play as of
Mitchell. If he plays, likely he's not playing. So I'm see. Then it's between Monty and CEH.
And I'd go Monty because you'd have to play CEH on Thursday. So if I would go Eckler, Jacobs, and Mitchell, and then if Mitchell doesn't play, you got Monty.
Hey,
yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Plus, Monty's matchup's pretty good against Minnesota, giving up the 11th most fantasy points to running backs. I'm in a good matchup, he does well. So yeah, I like Monty as the third guy there.
Yeah, it's definitely Eckler, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, and my man Monty Burns, because I really like the Fresh Prince here. I like all these guys are in smash spots. You know what I mean? All of them are in smash spots. You know what I'm saying? They're all in great fantasy situations. All these defenses.
Other than it being a Thursday game for Clyde, yeah, I mean I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. But see, I like Clyde because he's so fresh. You feel me? That's why I call him the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. But in this case, he's fresh. It's like another version of AJ Dillon and Aaron Jones right now, where they're giving they're giving enough work to Darrell Williams that when they bring in a fresh Clyde, he's it's all the money downs. That's why he just scored. All he did was score TDs. You know what I mean? And on top of that, this is a bad run defense, and it could be a shootout potential. He's been used in the passing game. I like it.
Let's see. For Eric Nava, I said a 2 QB league, half PPR, Big Ben, Justin Fields this week.
Big Ben.
Yeah, who do they play? Steelers versus Titans, yeah, and then Fields is playing the Vikings.
The Titans secondary's ass.
Yep.
Honestly, if they weren't facing the Titans, I probably would say Fields, but against the Titans, dude, yeah, I like Big Ben there.
The Titans are going to make it a game. You know what I'm saying? The Titans are going to make it a game where Ben's going to have to throw. Like here's what you do with Big Ben. You start him and you tune in the fourth quarter, because then that's when he's going to do all the work. You know what I mean? Because they're playing from behind, losing time of possession battle. They just got to go. They got to go throw. That's how it goes down. And then on top of that, you look at Fields. You know, it's a division matchup. It's two teams that are going to run the ball. It's going to be a sluggish, like a slow, sluggish game. You're going to need Fields to run around a lot. You know what I mean? Because he's not.
And you'll get that, but probably not as much as you normally would, because it's not going to be freed up, because he's going to be stopped in the passing game. They're going to be looking for that. So yeah, I agree.
And Antonio said my favorite hits were Elijah Moore and Michael Carter. Dynasty Jets fan and me took them. There we go.
Love it. I took Michael Carter in a couple of my dynasties because you had the Niner regime going over there. You know what I mean? You had Mike LaFleur, the stepchild, the evil stepchild. You know what I mean? He was bringing that Shanahan zone scheme. So eventually it's going to work. You know what I mean? And I mean, we already saw it. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Jonathan said thoughts on AJ Green with Hopkins out, playing Detroit could be the ceiling wide receiver one potentially, but I think he's probably getting more of a wide receiver too. Got to lower our expectations a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, getting 100 yards. Whoa, son. Getting 100 yards and 7 receptions. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that is due to Nuke being on the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, you know, it's kind of hard to. I like your. I'd say even like more like a solid WR3. You know what I mean?
Go. Let's see here. We got Chris said, "Would you play Kyler Murray or Tua?" I'm going Kyler.
Give me killer Kyler.
Oh yeah, definitely all the way. I mean, Tua's got a great matchup, but you're not starting him over Kyler, I don't think.
No.
Listen, they're playing Detroit. They're gonna murder them. And James Conner, fuck you, James Conner. Miss a game. So now Kyler run all them things in.
There you go.
Okay.
Antonio said if Darnold starts, I don't trust anyone on the Panthers. Ain't it the truth? Ain't it the truth?
There you go.
Except DJ Moore.
Yeah, he was the only one he was peppering, but that was still a long time ago. And Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, isn't Kyler done till the playoffs, though? Unless you heard something that I didn't.
No, Jake, don't let that be true.
They want that first round. They want that number 1 overall.
Yeah.
They've still got stuff to play for. Yeah.
It's Hopkins that's out.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Craig said Sony Michel or Hilliard. I'm not playing Hilliard, not after last week.
No. I've been telling people that for the last 2 weeks. Everyone's been on Hilliard. I'm like, no, it's Foreman. And because people were citing like his number. He had one big run where he got a touchdown. That's great. But Foreman was the one that was getting all the carries. The guy had over 100 yards a week ago. And then this past week, he fucking killed it. I like Sony Michel because if Henderson doesn't play, boom, you know, you've got a starter right there. If he does play, you still got a flex play there. So Michel.
When you're that Titans backfield, with Jeremy McNichols back, it was literally 31% of the snap share, 33% of the snap share. It was literally 30-30-30. I don't even want to fuck with none of them.
No.
If Foreman doesn't fall into the end zone, he's a bust.
Yep.
At
Big
least
Kong.
that can move the ball.
Yep. Big Kong said Mike Williams logged a full practice, left off the injury report.
Let's go. I made the phone call. Yeah, it's me. Yeah, take him off of it.
Here you go. Austin says, do y'all agree that Brady is the GOAT? No, I don't agree with that.
Fuck yes.
Wow.
In my standards,
right.
In my rules, the GOAT is Joe Montana because he never lost it. But in this era, people make some arguments, it's different eras. Like, okay, I'll use that argument. In this era, he's the GOAT.
Yeah, but you're talking about an era thing in that kind of case. And what I'm saying is, like, if you're talking all time, first of all, Joe Montana has been undefeated in the Super Bowl, 4 rings, 0 losses. That right there is a big, a big point. A lot of people say, hey, yeah, but he had Jerry Rice. Okay, but not for the first 2. So, what are we going to say about that? Joe Montana was playing during an era where you could hit the QB and it's not a problem. He was playing in a much rougher era. I think that if you put the 2 of them in the same era, I think Joe Montana is better. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that,
I
the cheating scandals with the Patriots that taints it a little bit. I actually used to hate Brady, and now I'm okay with him now that he's on a team that's not doing that shit. So but I still think that Montana was the greatest. But then again, I'm probably biased because I'm a Niners fan.
Yeah, growing up as a Niner fan, right? My whole family, all the shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Like when Joe Montana went to the Chiefs, my dad he loved the Chiefs because Joe Montana was there. You know what I mean? Like, my dad loved the Raiders when Jerry Rice went there. I'm not my dad though. You know what I mean? I was like, fuck the Raiders. You know what I mean? But like the Chiefs, they always had special place in my heart, and he took them to the title game. You know what I mean? So that's no one can say like, oh, it was just Bill Walsh or his scheme, or it was just Jerry Rice, or no, he took the Chiefs to the title game. You know what I mean? Like
For me, it's Joe Montana also. Doesn't have to do anything with the 49ers or anything because I like the 49ers. He's 4-0, and look at what he did. I mean, he puts it up all the way, puts up points, puts up yards. Doesn't matter how many points they're up by. Brady's game managing the whole time, living off the defense. And even in this past one, won it because of the defense. The offense didn't have to do that much. They only gave up 9 points to the best offense in the league. And that's how good their defense was. It's always been the defense for Brady.
There's three Super Bowl performances from Brady that were impressive to me. The first one was against the Seahawks. He actually threw 4 touchdown passes in that game against the Legion of Boom in their heyday, right? And yeah, they got lucky. Those dumbasses didn't run it with Lynch, right? Then the second one was obviously the 28-3. That's just fucking amazing. I don't give a fuck if you hate Brady. You better fucking kill yourself after that one because man, he was good. 28-3. You feel me? And then the other one was the loss to the Eagles. He put up like 500 yards of offense. It's just, him as a passer, it's all in the last decade. You know what I mean? Or actually going back to 2007, I'll say when he got Randy Moss, he was like, oh shit. And then after Randy Moss, he's been making everybody produce like they're Randy Moss. You know what I mean? Now that's why him winning the Super Bowl last year didn't fucking surprise me. Because he went there and he had Chris fucking Godwin, who has God and win in his fucking name. So there's that. Then he had Mike Evans. Then they're like, hey, you know what? We're not done yet. Get Leonard Foreskin over here. You know what I mean? They gave him everything and the defense. Probably going to win it again this year.
And no matter what anyone says, the rules have been changed, like literally for Tom Brady. That year that he goes out for the year, is it a coincidence that they literally changed that rule to make it, an illegal hit the next year? Like if the rules would have applied right now, like they did, would have been the same for
how many
Montana guys like Harry Bradshaw.
Montana that ended up taking him out of his career. I mean, in half the time that Brady played, he produced what he produced. That's what I'm saying. If you extrapolate that into the same amount of time as Tom Brady, I'm sure you'd see just as many, if not more, championships. You'd see and probably less losses. But again, it's all speculation, it's all opinion. But for those of us that saw it happen at the time, and I know we all did, dude, I mean, fucking Montana, just like he could. Yeah. It doesn't matter what the situation was. If they were down 28-3, I'm sure he would have brought them back too. It's a sad thing that we don't get to live in a world where we can just put them in the same fucking league at the same time at their peaks and watch it happen.
Well, here was one. I think it might have been his last one where they were winning 28-14 or something at halftime, and then he ends up, putting up a 50 burger, on it, and if you give and the other team only scored a touchdown on top of that, so they never coasted.
Yeah, I think we fucked up John Elway on that one.
That was that one then.
Yeah,
55-10.
Yep, and then we just See, the Niners in the Super Bowl is just domination. I was devastated when we in New Orleans and we're marching down the field. Kaepernick's and I'm telling my mans, I'm like, can you fucking feel it? This is what we do, right? Niner history. We go down and we get it. When we did it, when we go for it on fourth and, it's game's over, I'm fucking dumbfounded. I'm like, whoa. That never happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because until that moment, when the Niners get in the Super Bowl, undefeated. Until that moment. Fuck Jim Harbaugh.
That hold, though, on fucking Crabtree, I'm telling you.
And then look how it just continues. Jimmy G overthrowing freaking Emmanuel Sanders, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Right? Now, listen, that last one, I believe in karma. When they took that goddamn picture in the end zone, it was a wrap.
That was too early because what was the score at that time?
Here's what's fucking bullshit about that Super Bowl, by the way, which I watched from the NICU while my daughter was, had some shit.
Yeah.
She was born a couple days before that, and I'm in the NICU. I have my fucking thing. I'm watching my Niners play. On the team that was flagged for the most holding penalties in the regular season got zero calls for holding, even though they were very clear fucking hold. Like there was, I've seen videos of 10 different fucking holds that were right in front of the referee that were fucking egregious that they did not call. Dude, bullshit. The fucking Niners had that fucking game. Spoken like a true fan, I know, but still.
And A. Bell says CEH or Donta Foreman. I'm going CEH.
CH.
Let's see. Anna says thoughts on a better waiver wire stash for week 16 and 17. AJ Green, Antonio Brown, or Devontae Parker. Would have to drop Gage for one of them. Osborne not on the list. I think Thielen will be back.
I wouldn't drop Gage.
First of all, Thielen not coming back, but I would get rid of Gage. That was fun while it lasted for anyone. You know what I'm saying?
You get two good games out of him, and then he's back to normal.
I'll go grab. I would just grab. I would grab. Who was it again?
AJ Green, Antonio Brown, Devontae Parker.
Oh yeah, I'm grabbing AJ Green.
I'm going Antonio Brown.
Is he coming back?
I don't think he's coming back though.
We're gonna hear
Osborne not on the list. I think honestly, I like Osborne.
He can come back in week 16. He's David. Yeah, David talked about it earlier. How Bruce Arians is gonna he's still got to make his decision on what's gonna happen.
Hey, you know what? He's gonna sit him down. He's gonna be like, "Look here, Jack. You can't be jaw jacking and doing all that nonsense over here. You hear me, son?"
As a stash alone, I agree. I'd say Antonio Brown because he's the one that if he does come back, it's money. But as a stash, I agree with that. If you need someone to pick up and play right away, it's got to be either I'm not even on Parker. I'm sorry, Green or Osborne.
Because she even said it here. Thoughts on a better stash for week 16 and 17. So this isn't even about playing anyone right now.
I will say Parker. And I was always hating on Parker. And when I looked at it, in the games that he's played with Tua, they go to him damn near every time on third down. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy.
And JC Money, he threw in the super chat. Good looking, bro. I got you that extra entry. And he said Brock Osweiler's agent is the GOAT. Hell yeah. What's even funnier?
Lobster.
You know what's even funnier? I don't know. The Broncos, they shouldn't have re-picked him back up, but to see him leave and be back on the team in less than 12 months for whatever the league minimum is.
Hilarious.
They won. They definitely won. We told you, kid. We told you.
He got these big old deals, but I don't even think the guarantees are that much.
I think it was 30 or 40 million, something like that. He got a $90 million contract or 80 something million.
I think they did. The guarantee was 20 something million over 2 years or whatever. You know what I mean? It was something. It wasn't that crazy.
But he was worth a league minimum though.
Oh yeah, no. When he came back, he was getting
who the fuck was his agent? I gotta give him a call.
At the time, what was that 900,000 or something like that? 800,000.
Let me see. Where is
the league minimum for QB? Actually, no, it's more than that.
Yeah, so he got a 4-year, $72 million deal. That's what it was.
Damn.
21 million guaranteed the first year, and then 16 guaranteed in year.
So they got rid of him after the first year.
Yeah. So still,
based on what the fuck shit?
Well, okay. I'm gonna give him this much.
Who's giving him that money and why?
That was the Texans. Look how stupid they are.
I know that, but that's fucked up. What the hell?
No. See, here's the thing. It's because Kubiak's system. This was Gary Kubiak over there. It's very quarterback friendly. You know what I mean? They'll make anybody look good. Even Peyton Manning, without the HGH, didn't look too good in 2015. But he was playing in Kubiak's system. It's predicated on the run game, wide zone schemes. Just like Mike Shanahan, just like Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but if you polish a turd, it still smells like shit,
Yeah, no, but see.
And shine doo-doo, baby.
It was the 8 games. It was 6 games when Peyton Manning had the plantar fasciitis in 2015. You know what I'm saying? So he basically game managed. My whole unnecessary long point is he parlayed those 6 starts into a contract with Bill O'Brien. And you know what's the shining win in that little stretch was the Sunday nighter in the snow against New England. So here's Bill O'Brien like, yeah, if you could beat Bill, I want that kid. You know what I mean?
I still think the best contract ever was Matt Flynn getting that $3 million, $26 million or 3 year, $26 million contract, and then he didn't even start like one game for the team. Like off of that one game, just that one game that he probably still holds the records for.
Jesus.
Who's that?
Threw for like
That's so funny.
Threw for like almost 600 yards in that game or something, week 17.
Is that Matt Flynn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, who? I'm trying to remember who else parlayed their shit. I mean, when you have a good, Terrell Pryor, bro. Terrell Pryor. I don't know. Like he would just parlay one good performance into like being a quarterback, then into being like a receiver, and you know what I mean, running back. It's just like there's these guys that just like they get a bag somehow. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and Terrell Pryor's just a weirdo because he turned down a 4-year, $30 million contract before leaving for Washington, only to sign a 1-year, $6 million contract.
Well, you know, man, cocaine's one hell of a drug, man.
Definitely.
Cocaine is a hell of a drug.
That's right.
But yeah, so Matt Flynn, it was 480 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Jesus.
Turned
that in, that was his career right there, and he got paid for it.
Been a journeyman ever since.
Shit.
Still a career journeyman. And Life in Sports Talk with Jake said, like when people want to compare Steph Curry to Jordan now, completely different.
Steph Curry's a shooter. That's it, period. And he's great at it. I mean, I'll give him that. And then people say, oh, he's the greatest shooter of all time. I'm like, that's just because Lillard's having an off year.
I mean, hey, listen, man, it just all comes from the Bay, bro. Hey, shout out to Dame. You know what I mean?
Dame Dollar.
You feel me? He got bars too.
Let's see. Niner MMA said, I hate Jacoby Jones for life.
Yeah, fuck him.
And let me see. Hold on. There was another one up here.
Fuck Jacoby Jones. I came out of that half after like the blackout, and I swear to God, listen, I mean, I don't know if there's statute of limitation is, but I was the one that pulled the plug. You know what I mean? I cut the lights out. I was like, we need to figure this thing out.
I had a feeling that was you.
And then we come out of the darkness, and Jacoby Jones runs that thing back. Fuck Jacoby Jones. And while we're on that hype, fuck Travis Homer too. Fuck him.
And Savvy said, start Kirk or AJ Green. I think I'm going AJ Green over Kirk.
I'm a Kirk guy, and I'll tell you, since last season, it's been kind of like he's had this connection with Kyler Murray. The two of them have been. And I said that was going to happen this year. Now, of course, you had Hopkins in there, and he was doing his thing. You got so many mouths to feed there, but there were a lot of times when people were down, when the chips were down, I saw it was Christian Kirk seemed to be the guy, like his security blanket, and I see that happening the rest of the season. I'm a Christian Kirk guy.
Christian Kirk is definitely when they go 3 wide or 4 wide, he's always the guy that goes unaccounted for because DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green just draw so much attention. You know what I mean? But like I'd say this week against the Lions, I don't think you could lose with either of them. I just think like the safer floors with AJ Green as far as targets and receptions, and then the big play is going to come from Christian Kirk. Like that's what you need. You need the big play. But he's probably gonna get like 4 or 5 targets versus the 7 to possibly 12 targets that AJ Green's gonna see. You know what I mean?
Here's a good one here from Niner MMA. Said excluding Rice, Montana, Young.
Roger Craig.
No.
He's the first one.
I'm gonna say.
And Ronnie Lott. I'd say Ronnie Lott too.
At the best of all time, I'm going to say Ronnie Lott.
Yeah, because see, this is why I say Roger Craig. He was the first to go all-purpose 2 thou wow. You know what I mean? 1,000 on the ground, 1,000 through the air.
Oh, he was great. I fucking love me some Roger Craig. You kidding me?
But Ronnie Lott's the legend. He fucking
cut his finger off, cut his pinky off,
Dude.
right?
like,
Dude.
yeah, they broke it. Like he had one of them little Russell Wilson looking joints. You know what I'm saying? Bam! And he was like, you know what? Fuck it, cut it off. Like you know what I'm saying? Cut it off. Fucking put a tourniquet, whatever the fuck you had to do. Put the glove on and finish the game.
Yeah. They switched to safety and fucking blew up that goddamn position like it's never been seen before.
Mm-hmm.
Greatest of all time, in my opinion, as far as that goes.
Yeah. And then I have to say Terrell Owens, man. If we're not saying Jerry Rice or any of the motherfuckers, and then I'll say Frank Gore because Frank Gore became like he transcended football. He became the immortal one, where it's just like now he's in the all-time. He's top 10 in the all-time rushing totals. You know,
Dude, yeah.
Like, we can't sleep on that.
And it was still more than half of his career was with the Niners, right?
Exactly. But I'm just saying though, like even like life after the Niners, like we all rooted for him because he was getting, you know, he was like I was there at the game when he got 10,000 against the Eagles. You know what I mean? When he reached 10,000, I was like, oh shit, Frank the Tank got 10,000. Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Frank Gore and Patrick Willis were the ones that actually made me like the Niners because fantasy football. That's why I started getting into fantasy football. Frank Gore, I was always trying to get him on my squad because he was
Frank
the
the
man.
Tank.
And Patrick Willis, like, dude, I mean, just
that's what I was gonna say, man. Big Pat, my man, Big Pat. I see him as being like a defensive version of Calvin Johnson. He retired before he could be as great as he could be. I think Patrick Willis, you know, I understand why he did it. I get it. But still, man, that guy was a fucking beast. Love me some Patrick Willis.
yeah, man. I love the whole squad was so dope. It was I mean, you know, the Cowboy Justin Smith, Alden Smith, you know, Ahmad Brooks, Navarro Bowman. To go along with Willis, and then we had Deshaun Golson and Dante Hittner, bro. Whitner,
yeah,
fucking nasty.
They're fucking up in that shit.
Patrick Willis. I mean, if you take away his last year, because that one was an injury-riddled season, he only played 6 games. If you take away that season, the only year that he didn't go over 100 combined tackles was 2011, where he hit 97. And one of those years, 174 combined tackles, like in 2007, his rookie year.
Woo.
Everyone wants to talk about sacks, dude, but when you can put up tackle numbers like that, that's fucking legendary.
You know what's really, what was really funny is like, you know, I'll dig and I'll find some shit, and I found out like years later that like Peyton Manning really did want to come to the Niners, but he just straight up told Jim Harbaugh, I run on offense, I got this. And he had a big problem with that. And it's funny because then I went even deep dive a little more. I think life after the Colts, life after Jim Harbaugh with the Colts, it was Peyton Manning they moved on to and drafted. You know what I mean?
Yep.
I don't know if I'm remembering the timeline right, but like I wouldn't doubt that there's some little, you know, he's like, fuck you, Peyton. I'm calling the plays. He's like, nah. He's like, you see this big old terabyte that I call a head? You know what I mean?
And seeing even now, like you look at that, like is Tom Brady the GOAT? Tom Brady's not out there, planning this entire offense. Like this is Bruce Arians' offense. Tom Brady may change some calls here and there and change things at the line or whatever. But
I mean, and he's definitely. I think any good quarterback like has a say. If you're running a system like Zach Wilson, don't have no fucking say. You know what I mean?
No, I'm sure he has like a say in like the preparation for the week and shit like that.
Okay, I guess, but you get what I'm saying though. Like these guys have established Aaron Rodgers. Like they're in there. Like this is what we like to do. We're gonna do this more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they definitely got to be involved like that, right? And like for someone like Tom Brady, you know what I'm saying? You see him all the time call audibles and shit. You know what I mean? Like, nah, I don't like that. You know what I mean? We're doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like their offensive coordinator is Byron Leftwich. I feel like he's like new Adam Gase. Like, when the fuck are you really doing, Byron Leftwich? You're doing your new Adam Gase, because Adam Gase. See, remember we were talking about guys who had a success and then parlayed it into like other jobs they probably shouldn't have deserved. Was Adam Gase? He was the offensive coordinator for Peyton Manning, and it's like, boom, we parlayed that to a head coaching gig at one point. You know what I mean? Like, when really it was Fugazi. It was the quarterback, and I think it is Bruce Arians and Brady. Like, it's a combination of what they like to do. We're seeing Brady religiously take shots down the field. You know, a year ago, going into Tampa Bay, people were like, oh, Brady's arm fell off. He can't play in Bruce Arians' system. Bruce Arians likes to call the big one down the field, Jack. And then he came in stretching the field, one of the more accurate deep passers last year. It's fucking crazy. Avocados give me money.
Nigel, what up? Good looking on the super chat, bro. He said, pick one flex. Devontae Parker, Gallup, Royce to 5'9", Freeman, Dearness Johnson, Myers, and then pick one tight end, Gesicki or Schultz.
I'm going like Gallup and then Gesicki.
Yeah, I think that Gallup is a choice out of there. I think, you got to go with one of Dak's guys, the way they've been playing and everything. You fuck, dude.
I just like
the Dallas Dax. Yeah, I'm going with Gallup on that one. And then Gesicki, I got to agree with that. I think, people are scared of him because he's put up 2 goose eggs this week. Yeah, we call him Mike Gooseggy. But the thing is he, he's getting attention. He's getting targets up the wazoo. He got 11 last week, or the last week that they were playing, week 13. Now, this week they've got the Jets, who give it up the 8th most fantasy points to tight ends. I mean, they're fucking bleeding at that position. They're bleeding at pretty much every position. They gave up 28.5 fantasy points to Dallas Goedert. Fucking A, dude. I love that all day. Schultz is Schultz has since everyone's been healthy with the Cowboys. I think Schultz is kind of taking a little bit of a backseat there. So I like Gallup and Gesicki. Plus, which you're not going to want to play Gallup and Schultz at the same time. So there you go.
I'm doubling down on the Dolphins. I'm going Parker and I'm going Gesicki on this. They're going to be getting a lot of targets, both of them. Waddle's still going to get a lot of targets too. The offense pretty much runs through those 3. And Stu, what up, bro? He said, good afternoon, gentlemen. Can't chat, got to walk the pup, but I'm listening. Thanks for chiming in, Stu.
Shout out to Stu. Oh, man, Stu, you're going to do it to me. He's going to do it to me. I'm playing against him. We went back-to-back weeks. You know what I'm saying? I played him last week. Now this one's, we in the dance. There's no tomorrow after this one for one of us.
Let's see. And I'm going up against James Coe to start. I need to see if I could get James Coe on the show sometime this week.
I need Chase Edmonds to start, and then that because I don't like throwing. My team has to do so well that it compensates for James Robinson just basically being a handicap for me every week. You know what I mean? I just keep.
Yeah.
What's James Coe up to? What's he doing now? What's his gig?
He got him and Matt Harmon got a thing on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I love those guys. I gotta check them out then.
Yeah, Matt Harmon is awesome.
Matt Harmon's the shit, dude. I like Matt Harmon.
Both friends of the show. Both came and graced the show.
Bring them on. Let's talk to them. We bring them in the circle. Let's do it.
They would, bro. Like anytime, like Jake Silly, when we were about to do a video game / movie / like 90s like just trivia show, he was like, I'm there whenever it is. And like I remember when we were trying to toy with the idea. Remember we were trying to do a hustler before the year started, and we just out of time. But like he was just like, just let me know when and where. Like they like doing other shit besides this fantasy shit. You know what I mean? Like
we're definitely gonna do that show, Bogey. We're definitely gonna do that show. Yeah, that's one thing I want to get going at least a few times, getting some of these trivia shows because that shit was fun.
Even after, what's crazy is every Sunday, Clock hits me and Peacock with fantasy trivia on the Sunday morning show.
Nice.
Yeah, so I told him, I said, man, you need to compile like hell of them, and when the year is done, and you just like name this player shit. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
That shit is fucking. It's crazy because we track this shit so much that like you know what I mean. It'll make for great content. You know what I mean?
Yep. And Lee Shakur, what up? So would you trade Nick Chubb and Russell Wilson for Josh Allen and Rashad Penny full PPR? I have Kamara and Jonathan Taylor.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I'd rather keep Nick Chubb also.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, even when Russ came back, he's been outside of the Green Bay game, he's been putting up 20 burgers for you. You know what I mean? There's some 30 burgers on the schedule coming.
Hey, he's been heating it up. He's
Yeah.
been heating up the grill, you know.
Yeah,
He's gonna start cooking any minute now. He did a little bit last week, but he's gonna be cooking like a fucking maniac in the next week or so. So
probably got some 30 burgers on the docket. They're playing against the Rams. They're gonna throw it a lot. And the Rams secondary, they're all COVIDed up. Like those are one of the facilities they had to go on like an emergency shutdown. Nobody come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he has that going, and then like he has the Lions like to finish up the year. You know what I mean? Because that's that's the promised land. So I like that. Like Russell, you get to the promised land, Russell Wilson's gonna eat up that Lions defense. You feel me?
Oh yeah, in the championship game, dude, he's gonna be fucking on fire.
And Nick Chubb, man, the weather's cold. You know what I'm saying? And it's Christmas season outside. It's frightful, so delightful, all that shit. However the song goes. But Kareem Hunt's he's hurt, so expect a wintertime load from Nick Chubb. Like I'm not making that trade, and the person making this trade is smart. That's probably me sending that trade, because that's one of those Bogard style trades where it's like, okay, Josh Allen, he's looking like he's banged up. I'm gonna sell high on him, and really Rashad Penny's throwing because we've only seen like 1.5 good games from him, so it's just selling while the stock is extremely high.
I like how you put that. Chubb's got a wintertime load. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And Chris said someone dropped Mike Williams. I picked him up today. If he plays, play him, right? Yep. And he got a full go at practice. So.
Oh yeah.
Hey, stand up and take a bow. Yeah.
And Uncle Buck said Gore, John Taylor, Dan Buns.
Dude, John Taylor is great too.
I always, hell yeah. But every time you read his username, I swear to God, it's Chevy Chase. Like I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck who it really is. To me, it's Chevy Chase from the beyond.
And Niner MMA says Hittner.
Yeah.
Hittner. John Candy.
John Candy, that's who I meant. Thank you.
All right. I was going to say, okay. Usually I'll just let that shit go, but I'm a John Candy fan. I love John Candy.
Yeah, no, I knew I had it wrong when I said it out loud because I was like, from beyond, because Chevy Chase is not dead yet, is he? Or is he dead?
No, he's not.
No.
When you said that, I was like, all right, I got to say something.
Not dead. Yeah, John Candy, I don't want to disrespect him. I don't like being inaccurate. Thank you for correcting me. I was like, I knew I wasn't right.
I don't like to be that guy, but I'm a John Candy fan. I had to say something.
That's John Candy from the beyond, bro.
I was just watching Home Alone last night, and like, hell yeah. I love that he's got that cameo in there with the fucking polka guys and shit, dude. It's fucking good shit.
He lets her know, because see, what's funny is because they're on the road. So there's some what's it called? There's some parallels here. She's a terrible mother because they're obviously workaholics. They got a big family. They forget their son. But he's talking about, no, it's all about your journey back. You know what I mean? Like that's what the metaphor is. And the parallel is they're on the road away from their family because they're touring all the time. You know?
Right. Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to bring this up because he wanted to give her a story to like compare and contrast to. And then he talks about when he left his kid at the funeral parlor all day.
I bet you anything that shit was fucking ad-lib, man. I bet you anything that was improv right there.
I hope so, because that was so funny. And he was like, yeah, all day. And,
dude, I was watching that scene last night thinking that, and I was looking at Catherine O'Hara. I swear to God, she was trying to keep from corpse so bad. I swear that must have been ad-lib. That was so dude, John Candy's a fucking genius, man. Rest in peace, my man.
Yeah, and then what did he say? And then she was like, did he get over it? And he was like, oh, yeah, kids are resilient, after a couple years of therapy.
Right. 2 years of therapy. He was all right.
And then they double back and do it again, and this time they don't know where he went. The airport's like a nightmare scenario, you know what I mean? Like,
because what are the odds? 2 people with the exact same jacket going
popular jacket.
Especially where they are in Chicago, gotta have a thick coat like that.
Mm-hmm. Same exact color, same exact height, build,
that's funny.
Everything.
Watch them shits back to back last night on Disney Plus. Just doing my fantasy shit. Got that stuff going in the background. Like, yeah, this is the life.
Yeah, it's tight because like my son. It was the first time. He's about to be 3 years old, but it's the first time we were watching Home Alone last weekend, and like the physical comedy of it is what he gets a kick out of. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Rewind it.
That's the only part that my son will watch. That's the only part Noble will watch right now is the end. He cracks up. He dies laughing.
Getting fucked up.
It's like the comedian Gallagher, you watch all the fucked up crazy shit that happens at the end, and then when you're an adult, you appreciate the shit beforehand.
Hey, yo, my favorite, bro. I'm even dying right now thinking about it, bro. Is when the spider, he's like, Harry, don't move. Hey, with the crowbar. Oh, I die so hard till this day. Like my son dies, and it makes me feel awesome. Like, hi, I'm fucking.
Dude, Daniel Stern's scream when he puts the spider on his face, like, that fucking scream is so good, dude. I laugh at this shit every fucking year.
His eyes say it all, though, bro. Like, that's a good actor. That was.
Oh, dude, he was good. I love that guy.
He's such a savage. Those guys are animals.
And of course, Joe Pesci's the shit. We all know that.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Pesci would have killed that kid.
No shit.
He didn't even want to he wanted it slow and sweet. He was like, first, I'm going to bite your fingers off all at one at a time.
I believe that shit from Joe Pesci. I don't think that was in the script. I think I'm going to bite this fucking kid's fingers.
In part 2, though, they make Murray, what's his name? Murray. They make him hella dumb.
Marv.
I'm
yeah.
sorry. It was a mixture of Harry and Marv. I'm fucking loving it. But when they're in New York, where he's like, at first he's like, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do this. He's just telling them the whole plan. I was like,
they made him too stupid in that one. I agree.
Yeah, as a kid, I used to be like, damn, what did prison do to him, bro? Like he's just spilling the whole beans right now.
He had to lay it out for the kids on what they were gonna do.
But then number 2 did have Tim Curry and Rob Schneider. So you give some, you get some. It's what it is.
Yeah.
They're both good though. I was just saying it last night. I was saying like, hey, this is one of the few movies, like in my opinion, where the first and second one are just as good. It's great. I love them.
And what is this Home Alone 3 nonsense? I've never watched it and I never will.
That shit tried to come on TV. I was like, fuck that. No.
Well, see, here's what I'm noticing though, is like there's a lot of movies that came out when we were like before we were born, and then they remade them. Movies that Gone in 60 Seconds, The Longest Yard, like things like that. Like I used to not like those, but it's just because it's like made in like the newer generation, and I don't know, kids can connect with it a little bit more, I guess.
Listen. This is the first time I heard ever in the history of history that Gone in 60 Seconds was a remake. That's tight.
Yeah, that was in like the 60s or the early 70s, some shit like that. Just
boosting hella whips, huh? Because man, first of all, I love Nicolas Cage. He's one of my favorite monotone actors. When I say monotone, is because he just has one style. You know what I mean? He's the same guy in everything. You know what I mean? He's like the best over actor, even. You know what I mean? When he was like, "What about having sex while boosting cars?" Very monotone. There's a good line in that movie when he's like, "A brother's love is a brother's love." Because it's like, that's what, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to do some, like, this guy's doing the ultimate crazy shit. And his brother's a fucking dumbass, got him into this shit. But he got to do it because he loves his brother. You know what I mean? That was like, I love that message right there. Yep. You know what I mean? You got to do it for your brothers. Let's see. Where's some other questions? Jolie with the braids in there. Classic stuff. As a wee tyke, I like that a lot. And JC Money said, what are your thoughts on Jakeem Grant, Visca, Rondell Moore, or Jakeem Grant? He said he doubled back to Jakeem Grant. Huh? He said, what are your thoughts on Jakeem Grant? And then he gave the 3.
So it's kind of like a 2-part question there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess out of all these guys, I think I'd be taking the shot on Jakeem Grant. Like, Rondale Moore doesn't have too much upside, whether Hopkins plays or not. And Visca, we've already seen, like, man, he's a wayward child over there.
It's definitely not LaVisca. It's really between the other two. And I'm going to take the other side of it, and I'm going to say Rondale Moore, just because of my guess is if you're trying to pick up one of these guys, they're not going to be someone that you're going to be having as a weekly starter. It's going to be someone that you're hoping is a lottery ticket that's going to pay off, someone that in the playoffs that could blow up that you could use in the flex. And in that case, I think Rondale Moore has the better chance of that. I just, I got to see more from Jakeem Grant before I start believing that. And we all know LaVisca's kind of a bust. So I go for more on that one.
I think Jakeem Grant is awesome. For fantasy, it's hard to trust those type of guys. He's a gadget guy. And then even more hard to trust. Like, first of all, wouldn't you say they should scheme him up more? Like, even like give him jet sweeps and shit like that. Like, do more shit with him where you're putting the ball in his hand already, right? Yeah. But Nagy's a dumbass. So, like, that's the main thing. Look, we got Allen Robinson comes back. Right? He's like, hell yeah, I'm healthy. I'm back. And then they're like, Jakeem Grant all day. You know what I'm saying?
That's because still, no matter what, Robinson's getting the number one coverage.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. Like, Nagy from week to week, it's hard to, you know what I mean? At least for the most part, Montgomery has been, like, solid. That's the one thing in their game that days was continuity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kick return is really what made the big was big for him last week. Otherwise, he had one reception for 46 yards and that touchdown. And that was it. That was just the one reception he had. He was fucking lucky last week. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, but Visca and Rondale Moore, they're just not lucky like ever. So, I mean, I'd rather go with the guy who at least the sun shined on his ass like one time this season already.
Hey, you know what JC Money's trying to do here, right? You see it? It's obvious. He's looking for a new Jamal Agnew, bro.
He wants it.
Instead of Agnew, he's gonna be yelling, Jakeem.
I'd almost go with Treadwell over that, honestly.
Yeah. Uncle Buck said Mixon and Montgomery is messing up. Should I go Foreman, Freeman, or Mitchell?
No, I mean, if Montgomery and Mixon.
Yeah, it's not changing.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely not playing Foreman or Freeman over him. And I mean, we don't even know if Mitchell's going to play.
And it's not that they're fucking up. It's that, they got game scripted out to a degree. Yeah. You know what I mean? They were losing. The Bengals were losing to the Niners. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, what is it called? The Packers were smacking up. Like, David Montgomery did most of it in the first half, and I'm hella happy that he did. And then he piled up a couple more receptions because of the game script was negative. But, like, we saw some Herbert in there. We saw some Damian Williams. A lot of Damian Williams, actually, in hurry up. So, it's game script. I think this is a smash spot for David Montgomery on a Monday night against this weak ass Vikings run defense. But I also want to say they lost was it Jason Peters? Who's the lineman they just lost, bro? They lost to OG on their line this week. So I do worry a little bit about that. More so for Justin Fields though.
Yeah, but real quick, I just want to go back to that saying Mixon's got a bad matchup this week against Denver. So if Mitchell plays, sure, I would play Mitchell over Mixon personally. But otherwise, I'm just Mixon and Monty otherwise.
And to be honest, if Mitchell goes, I'm trying to get him in the flex. I'm trying to rock all three of those running backs because here's the thing. I like the Bengals in this one against the Broncos. Like, I have them winning. So I like this. Even though it's a bad run defense, or a bad matchup for Mixon, I think he's going to get the volume here because it's going to be a positive game script for them.
Woo woo. And Marv the Martian says standard format. I need one for the flex. Hollywood, AJ Green, Penny, Dillon, Parker. I'm gonna go with AJ Dillon.
Yeah, I'll rock with AJ Dillon.
It's close between Dillon and Penny for me, but I don't like Penny's matchup against the Rams this week. So in that case, I mean, Dylan's it's just you can't go and match up with that. It's the Green Bay Packers. They do what they're gonna do. So yeah, I think give the slight nod to Dylan this week.
Yeah, I mean the Penny thing, like I think we might have missed out on it. Like unless you get this.
I don't know. Pete Carroll was saying he deserves to be the top guy, and I think that's what we've been waiting on is just for him to be healthy and put it together. I think a lot of people were on. I personally was on Rashad Penny when he was first came into the league. He just couldn't get healthy. He couldn't get play, and now that he's got play, he's looking like the guy that we were expecting him, that we were wanting him to be. So if he continues that could be big. But yeah, I think Dylan is a safer bet.
Here's one thing that. I'm not trying to will anything into existence. I'm just speaking from history, especially my own history. One of the worst feelings in the world is having your running back go down in the first quarter, and you get 0 points out of them or 2 points out of them. Yeah, and I'm just not trusting Rashad Penny to be that guy who's not going to get hurt.
That's a good point. I usually don't try to call injuries, but with a guy like that, that is a big risk.
I get nervous about that. All right, let's see what Ty says here. I have Barkley, Gibson, Freeman, Mooney, Van Jefferson, Parker. Which of these would you start? I mean, well,
because I mean, like, right, like I'd start them all in like in a lot of instances. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean Barkley and Gibson. I mean, if you need two running backs,
yeah.
I mean, you gotta tell us how many to start here because I have no idea.
I think you got the right order there.
Yeah, like if we're ranking him.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I might put
Freeman farther down than that.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I put Freeman for. In fact, if we're split it between running backs and wide receivers, is what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah. Barkley, Gibson, Freeman. That's the order I'd put him in, and I'd put Van Jefferson and Parker over Mooney. So I'd move Mooney.
Yeah, I would actually put Van over Mooney, especially with the OBJ news. I would put Van over Mooney, not over Parker personally. But that's where I go with that. And then if you're going for the full line, you put Freeman, put him maybe at the end.
Actually, here's one thing that I just remembered, and it was kind of stupid, but when it was I swear there was only one game where it was like no OBJ and no Robert Woods, and it was Van Jefferson. And maybe it was just that game, but it was like Van Jefferson got like no love that entire game.
Yeah,
but
really
weird.
Yeah.
You know what? I remember that game. Whatchamacallit too? I was about to say I'll take Van over Parker this week. You know what I mean? Like that Seattle, they don't give up too many receptions, but then here and there they'll give up a splash play down the field. That would be Van Jefferson. You know what I mean?
But I'm not so. I'm agree with that.
Parker playing the Jets. Damn, I forgot about the playing the Jets. That's been kind of ass.
Let's see. And Chris said Schultz or Ertz this week. I think I'll go Ertz.
Yeah. Ertz
with Hopkins out, yeah, I'm gonna go Ertz.
I think he's the one that has probably the safest floor at a receiver options right now because I'm saying, like, he's gonna need somebody that they could trust on them third downs and shit. You know what I mean? Some trusty hands.
And Ward, what up, Ward? He said start Taysom or Jalen. I think I'm going Taysom.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hurts might be hurt. Pardon the pun there. So yeah, I definitely go with Taysom Hill either way. Honestly, I was calling it last couple weeks before everyone else was on him. I was like, dude, he's gonna come in, he's gonna play, he's gonna get you 24 points. And I said that exactly. What did he get? 24 points. Then the next week, I'm like, hey, he's gonna do it again. He's gonna get 24 points. I'm calling it right now. What did he get? 24 fucking points. This week, I'm saying Hill gets 25 points. Oh, because it's a little bit better matchup.
Yeah, if he gets the 100 on the ground again, I mean, it makes it real easy for him to get that 25
absolutely.
Points. And he's going to get that 100 on the ground.
He's like Jalen Hurts with a better coach.
Yeah, and a terrible arm, because Hurts got a big arm. He's not accurate, but he definitely has a big arm.
What up, Clap Nuts? He said, do we play Swift if he's active, or do I roll with Penny? I just don't like either matchup. I don't think Swift is going to be active, so I think you're going to have to roll with Penny.
So Godspeed.
Yep.
And what up, David? Hess in the building. What up, bro? What are you smoking on? I'm getting ready to pack another bowl right now. And Ward says, any news on AJ Brown?
David. That's David, huh?
Yeah. And Ward said, any news on AJ Brown or James Conner? Not as of yet. I'm surprised we haven't heard any James Conner news on his MRI. It's really weird.
I think Coach said AJ Brown is a possibility to come back, but that's it. That's all I've heard.
Man, what a disappointment. And Maximo on Facebook, what up? If Terry can't clear protocol, Julio, Parker, or Kirk? I'm going Parker.
Man, that's tough. Who are the Titans playing again?
The Titans play the Steelers. Cardinals play the Lions, and Dolphins play the Jets.
Right. There's just a part of me that wants to go Julio because I love that guy. But, man, he hasn't been putting together. Now, I will say, though, that Pittsburgh isn't so great, against wide receivers in fantasy. And so for that reason, I would give a little bit of a lean toward Julio. But looking at the rest of the matchups, though, it's hard. It's really hard to want to start him. And I have to agree. I'm giving a slight nod to Parker over Kirk on that one. And then Julio, I think is as much as I'd love to say him, I think he's actually the third out of those guys.
And Austin said, Bogey's brain works different.
We all know that. But we love him. That's why we love him.
And Anthony said, Diggs, Keenan Allen, Lockett, sit one.
Keenan Allen, Lockett.
Allen. I mean, I think with Wilson, he's cooking back up. There's obviously some weird shit going on between him and DK. He's just not giving him the attention. And Lockett's getting the attention there. So I like Lockett. I like Diggs, of course. It's hard to sit that guy. Even if he's not having a great game, dude, he out of nowhere, he'll have like a 30 burger and you'll be like, shit, he's on my fucking bench. Keenan Allen, I mean, with he's just coming back. Williams is going to be in. So it's hard to sit one of those guys. I would try to start all three. But if you have to sit one, I'd say Allen.
I say it's going to be Lockett, but if you're going to get cute, and sometimes I like to get that way, Diggs going up against more than likely Stephon Gilmore, someone who knows them like really well. They've been playing in the same division for a while. Is to sit Diggs and put Lockett in. But I'd be starting Diggs and Allen.
You got to have some fruit-sized balls for that, dude. I'll tell you.
It's hard to get off of Lockett because they've been doing Russell Wilson, Tyler Lockett things this past like 3 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that deep bomb, that 50-yard bomb, whatever it was, like that was vintage right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right. But Darius Williams, he's not on the list, the COVID list. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was taking it to DeAndre Hopkins. That'd be the guy, like, you know what I'm saying, that I would worry about the most. They'll probably move Lockett away from him. And that guy will be on DK Metcalf more.
Yeah.
So it's hard to sit Lockett in what I think is going to be a negative game script where they're going to have to throw the ball a ton. But, like, I would rather connect myself to the Chiefs game. That rivalry shoots out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And Anthony said, I just got a Wet Bandits t-shirt at Target, man. It's classic right there.
Nice. Dude, put up a picture of it or something if you can. I'd like to see that.
I love it because I'm always in Target too.
Wet Bandits.
Hey, I saw this red. It was a red T-shirt. It was it said Coca-Cola, and I was hella hot that I didn't get it because when I went back the next time, it was gone. I was
Gone.
Because I love Coca-Cola 1, and it's just a double entendre.
Right.
And Roman said, guys, should I start J-Rob or CEH? CEH.
Yeah. But
J-Rob,
yeah,
it's not startable right now.
Too bad.
You want to attach yourself to a crazy high scoring game. Like, what is this? It's like 50, 52 or 54 or something like that is what Vegas has it at the point. It's going to, and we want that. You know what I'm saying? I will say it's like a Matt Nagy situation for James Robinson. Where it's not that we can't trust James Robinson. We can't trust
Urban Meyer.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And it's the Texans. Like, they should win this game. And if you think about it, like, the Texans will probably be the smarter ones and be like, you know what? We're not going to win this game somehow. So they can still get a high-ass pick. Meanwhile, they're going to try their best to win this game. You know what I'm saying? The Jags.
Oh, wait. You think it's going to be like that South Park episode where they're trying not to win?
Yes, exactly.
Because, I remember that. That was big time where all the kids didn't want to keep playing, and they were just better at losing than the other ones.
Just getting blasted.
Fucking dodgeball, yeah.
And Austin said, have we ever seen Bogey without shades? Nope.
Neither has the world.
Let's see.
His future's too bright, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, I like your version.
And Anthony said, Mixon, Montgomery, Foreman, got to go with the first two.
Yeah. I love Foreman. I've actually been a big on Foreman even since last season. I think that he does have talent. I think that he is going to get play. But, yeah, you got to go with Mixon and Montgomery on that one.
Let's see. Boss Man Fat says TJ Hawkinson or Mike Gesicki. PPR. I'm going Gesicki.
Has Hawk cleared to play? I
don't think so.
Yeah, I think he's still going to be down. So I mean, that makes it easier, Gesicki. But I mean, obviously, I know that's harder if he does play. But I say Gesicki. Great matchup.
And let me see. And Boss Man Fat says Melvin Gordon or Amari. I think Melvin Gordon. I mean, they're doing so much that with their running backs. Like I love starting both of them. They're both like high-end RB2s, like at worst.
Yeah, and Cincinnati is not all that great against running backs. So I would definitely go with Melvin Gordon there. Although it's harder to say. I mean, well, first of all, do we know is it PPR or not? But I'm guessing that it is.
I always assume PPR.
I just assume that it is. But even so, I think Melvin Gordon is a more solid play. I definitely think Amari Cooper can have his great games. He had a good stretch there between weeks 4 through 8. But since then, it's been real hit and miss, especially, he's been banged up and everything. He had a great game this last week. A pretty good game, we'll say. 16 fantasy points. But I think that Melvin Gordon can get that just as easily and has a much safer floor.
Yeah, LeBron's brain. He says Dak or Taysom. Dak higher ceiling, but has shown shit the past 2 weeks. I'm gonna go Taysom. I said that a little bit earlier today, and I'm gonna stick with it.
Hey, yep, 25 points. I think Dak gets you about 20 to 22.
Yeah, Taysom's just safer right now.
Absolutely.
Anthony said Superflex, Hurts, Tua, Heineke, Tannehill. Start 2.
I think Hurts is gonna be out.
I'll go Tua. Yeah, that's what's tough. Like, we don't know. I mean, they said that he's trending in the right direction as of now, but that could be some coach speak on a Wednesday.
Yeah,
as well.
See, I keep hearing back and forth on that too. So I don't know. Either way, I think I'm going Tua. It's such a great matchup. And the other one's a little bit more difficult, but I don't know. I kind of lean toward Heineke a little.
Yeah.
I just think, with the way that Ryan Tannehill's been with that offensive line, being as porous as fuck, like I really think that Heineke, he didn't have a great week last week. He could have. I think that he could have a better week this week. I slight lean toward Heineke between him and Tannehill personally, but Tua I think is a really good play this week.
Yep. All right, and let's see. Tino said maybe DK would run another route besides the post. He would get the ball. Yeah, I have no idea what's going on with that. It's not really making too much sense the way they're working DK. And David said, puffing on some skunk 1, and I'm about to harvest. Here we go. Always cut a few branches, dry and taste before the main chop. Happy to report these ladies are ready to dry, cure, and enjoy. Hell yeah, 420 crew. I like it.
Hey, nice. Hey, hook us up with a sample.
And Tino said,
in case anyone cares, I'm smoking on the Blue City Diesel, my personal favorite strain.
Nice. And that's so funny. Tino says, I know Bogey in real life, and I never seen him without his glasses. And they said, my bad, voice text, and I got you, bro. And we did that for Boss Man. And Austin said, I wonder if Carter will receive a full workload been watching his IG stories, and he looks really good. We shall see. I mean, the coach already says that he says he expects him to play.
Yeah. And if he's playing, I think you start him up. I think he's got the talent. I'm not going to sit him and watch him get 20 points on my bench.
And Stu, oh man, come on, Mr. Bias Stu in here with this Cowboy talk. Said Cooper is healthy. Dak is a little off, but it's the Giants versus Dak, and said about to get right this week. And yes, I'm a homer, but give me Cooper over Gordon this Javonte season. You understand that Cooper scored more points last week than Javonte did, right, Stu?
Well, on top of that, Gordon scored 23 fantasy points, even if it's Java season. So,
yeah,
even with Java in there, which I agree, it is Java season. Love him, love the guy. I think, they could combine for 40 points every goddamn week.
Floor is way safer for Gordon than Cooper.
Agreed.
Stu, you're crazy, and I love you, but that's why I love playing against you too, because you always
all Cowboys fans are nuts, right? You've been seeing those memes with all the misspelled Cowboys memes.
Yeah,
have you seen that shit?
Yep.
Yeah, it makes me laugh.
Yeah. And fresh off of his work shift, our man JC Money Design in the building.
I like big butts and I can't lie. You other brothers can't deny. I want a girl walks in with it.
Yo. Dude, we're supposed to be getting crazy tornadoes out here.
Yeah.
70 dude, we're supposed to be getting like 70-mile-an-hour winds.
Where at?
Minnesota.
Hey,
Crazy.
Yeah, and then it's supposed to freeze and snow.
Hey, I told you
No NATOs.
not to fool with H.A. Dillon.
It's about to get crazy.
I told you.
They got signs in the road and they're like blinking saying like at 9 p.m. get off the roads because they're about to have crazy winds. Like fuck.
Nuts.
Oh snap!
So all them tornadoes they just had down south, we're about to get them.
I ain't gonna lie. I guarantee there's gonna be one of them crazy white boys out there in that snowstorm with one of them fucking with one of them
Tornado, yeah, like you said. It's good. We should make a movie.
I'm telling you, white boys be on some crazy shit. They're like remember Twister? They're like, we gotta go drive at the tornado.
Yeah. Well, I was telling you, my friend that was on mushrooms, he wanted to go run out in front of snowplows. I'm like, what the fuck?
Whoa. He was on the wrong shrooms, bro.
He's like, you'd be funny as hell. We'll scare the shit out of them. Like until you slip and fall and they run you over. Plow your ass over.
They don't have a reason. I mean, they're like their whole vehicle plows things. Like you literally like get plowed. Oh man. And Life and Sports Talk with Jake said new system. That's why DK isn't getting the ball. They're stopping him at all costs. The defense is. Yes, sir. And LeBron's brain says, will Lamar play? I'm asking because I own the Packers D. I mean, whether he plays or not, I don't think that makes a difference. I think Packers D start him. They're bad. Bad said, thanks, guys. Patrick said, what up, Hustler? What's going on?
I mean, even if Lamar has a good game, I think that the Packers D could still they score points. They just do it every week.
Yeah.
Can't get away from it.
Antonio said, I kind of want to buy tickets for the Giants Cowboys. That'd be a pretty cool game to go see.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you're a Cowboys fan, you go to that game because you like going to games where you're gonna win. You know what I mean? They're gonna smack the fuck out of the Giants.
And Patrick said, I got a bye week. So for week 16, the Pats or the Titans. So the Pats play the Bills in week 16, and the Titans play. Where is it? They play the 49ers on Thursday night.
What you do here? This is what you do. You go and look at the Chargers are there because they play the Texans week 16. A lot of Chargers are going to be dropped everywhere because they're playing the Chiefs. And
honestly, when you get into the playoffs and shit, you might want to just look at who you want to start at defense each week. If you have some room, cut the fat and pick up those defenses. New England's good to have if you get in a championship because they got the Jets that week. So you might want to hang on to them. But
Seattle plays Detroit. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can stock up. Do so. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'm not even mad at Denver against the Chargers in week 16 because I'm not scared if they give up points. It's just the fact that they have a good secondary. They can get me some possible pick sixes and shit. And they're good in their sacks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chargers get the Texans in week 16, and I think that's a damn good matchup. Yeah, so I would go week to week right now with defense.
But as far as stashing is what the question is, right? Yeah, like if I would stash New England because I'm not afraid to play against Josh Allen.
I'd stash the Pats and then pick up someone else for the week 16 matchup.
Eagles.
I mean, listen, I'm still playing. I'm not afraid to play. New England against Josh Allen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, David just said it right here. New England scored 14 points. 14 points against Buffalo in week 13, and that was in Buffalo. Should be just as strong as home.
Well, I mean, weather was a little
Yeah,
factor.
weather was insane.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what I'm saying. You hang on to them, you can play them, or I mean, but if you want to get cute with it and start another team, I do that, but don't hang on to the Pats because if you make it to the championship game against I guess it's Jacksonville. I mean, that's going to be a huge game for them.
Oh yeah, definitely. You want the Patriots in that game.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
I think I said Jets earlier. I meant Jacksonville. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Patrick said I have the Titans and the Pats at the moment.
Yeah.
So you gotta try to get someone else though. But yeah,
I would shake the Pats. That's what I do. Shake the Pats and go see if the Chargers are there. You know what I mean? Because that's the great matchup against Judge Davis Mills.
I would rather play the Pats against Buffalo than the Titans against San Francisco. I'll say that.
Yeah, for sure. But definitely drop the Titans and see, or not just drop them, but see if the Chargers is available because the Chargers
good matchups.
Yeah, Davis Mills. They're going to have Davis Mills. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And actually, here we missed this one. And Alejandro says Mahomes or Jimmy G, KJ Osborne or Russell Gage, Crosby or Gould. I'm going Mahomes.
Yeah, Mahomes over Jimmy G. Got to do it. Osborne over Gage. With Thielen still going to be out. I take the wide receiver 2 in Minnesota over the wide receiver 1 in Atlanta at this point. And then Crosby or Gould, whatever. Pick who you want. I would stick with Crosby.
I mean, you want to attach yourself to an offense that's going to get in the scoring position, right? Like,
but not score.
Yeah, the Niners or the Packers, like, you know what I mean? It's pick your poison.
Gould missed that damn kick last week, though.
Whoa!
Oh.
Him missing that. Here's the caveat. Him missing that kick made Shanahan stop being a pussy because in overtime, it's like, we can't go for a fucking tie. Get this fucking win. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll say that. For real football, sure, but in fantasy, I had Gold in a couple places. Like, damn it.
Yeah. But here's my thing too. Remember when we lost the Super Bowl against? I don't, before all the defensive shit, you know what it was? It's going into the half and opting to kick the field goal. You go for another touchdown there. You know what I mean? Like Shanahan needs to stop being a pussy. And he showed me.
He needs to believe in his scheme because it works.
Yeah, he showed me that though. That he's like, oh, now I ain't no pussy. You know what I mean? We get this dub. Let's go.
And Patrick said, should I drop P. Ryan for Jefferson or Osborne? I have Thielen. What Jefferson?
Which one?
Definitely not Justin Jefferson. Jameer Jefferson. I'd rather have Osborne than Jameer Jefferson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm doing that. Give me Ozzy Osbourne's estranged son.
Yeah.
Hey. As long as Thielen's out, Osborne's the guy for sure. I mean, he's going to be great.
Definitely. CDA Great 91 said Lamar Jackson or Taysom Hill. Taysom
safer. Taysom safer for sure. Especially, with Lamar banged up. And Taysom.
Let's see. C-Dog said, will Thielen play? I don't think so. And also pick 3. DK Hollywood, KJ Osborne, James Robinson. Not James Robinson.
Not James. Yeah, there you go.
I'd still play him. He's the flex.
I don't know, though, because I'm looking at the other choices. I'm like, I don't know. Although, I mean, it's hard to trust right now, although they are up against the Texans, and that's a really, really good matchup. But it is hard to just in the past couple of weeks, he got 2.5 fantasy points, then 0.4 like fuck, dude. There's no way I can go with that. But it could be a surprisingly good game. So that is a very tough question. But and especially with DK being, basically shut out, that's hard. I mean, I might start James Robinson over DK in that case. Hollywood's been dropping too. It's tough. I mean, for the matchup, but he hasn't been getting. It's really tough. I see why you have this conundrum. And in that case, especially in full point PPR, I think I am going to go DK, Hollywood, and Osborne. But man, just wait, just watch. They'll start like Urban Meyer was doing shit with J-Rob in the beginning of the season. Then all of a sudden lit a fire under his ass, and or his own ass, I guess, and started actually coaching them, and had J-Rob playing, and it was great. If that happens again, wonderful. But we don't know if that's going to happen or not. But man, then DK's in question. So yeah, that's a tough one. But I'm going to have to go with the wide receivers on that one.
See, I'm gonna go.
We almost have to, just because the fact that what the fuck Urban Meyer's been doing with James Robinson. You can't. Yeah. As much as I want to play him every single week because I know how fucking talented he is, Urban Meyer is an idiot.
Good matchup or not, talented or not, whether or not they're going to actually finally go back to him, and you just can't trust it.
Yeah,
between both running backs, I think they only got like 14 yards.
Yeah,
they only ran or something like that as a team. But you know what though? I'm still going DK. I'm going DK, KJ, and James Robinson because the Texans, they're a bad run defense. They're one of the worst. So like I don't trust it, but like I'm making it my flex now. If I had to choose three, that's my flex. You know what I mean?
And I'm not going to argue you on that one because I agree with you. It's hard to trust. That's all. It's just hard.
And then DK, I mean, he had a touchdown last week. There was a flag on it, but he still had one. It just showed me that they're still hitting him off in the red zone. Yeah, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, if we're not going to get the big splash plays with DK or have them use him as the X receiver, at least don't take away his red zone targets. So he did have that. It's not going to show up on a stat sheet because there was a flag on it. You know what I mean? So I'm still okay with rolling him out.
And Anthony said, I got ice cream dabs. I got a buy one, get one for a penny deal at the local cannabis club.
Love it.
Cali. There we go. We love it.
What's funny is like when you wait in line, they design it to when you wait in line, they're trying to sign you up for all kind of other shit. They're like, this is for a penny. And they try to pitch you some shit, bro, all day, and then motherfuckers just be high in the line, like, oh yeah, I'll do it, like, you know what I'm saying? All day, it never fails.
I know it's perfect creative marketing. And let's see, where are we at? Austin said it's crazy to think how long Brady has been good for. In 2005, Cliff Kingsbury was his backup.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh shit. That's funny.
Is that facts?
That's crazy.
Cliff Kingsbury, wasn't he drafted in that class? Not like, or was he drafted, or did he ever be behind Brady? Like, I don't know. I need to know that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. If that's dope. If that's true, because I've never heard that.
I don't think Austin would lie to us.
No, I believe Austin. I'm like,
Austin's the man.
This is me being like, wow, I never knew that. Like, you know, that's hilarious, actually.
And let's see.
2003.
Wow.
He was backup on the Patriots.
Wow, look at Cliff. And now Cliff's trying to live his quarterback dream vicariously through Kyler Murray.
Yeah, doing a pretty good job of it, actually.
Yeah, I like it.
A lot better than he did in his career.
His career backup.
Yeah.
Career backup.
Let's see. And Robert said, is Bakhtiari playing this Sunday? We don't know. I know he's not practicing today. We'll see tomorrow.
I don't think
Murray killed my wide receiver.
back to like I'd say the end of December, maybe.
And let's see. And Antonio said, any news on Roquan? I didn't know that he got injured. He got injured kind of at the end of the game. No news as of yet. Let's see.
Who's backing up the truck?
I know.
What's going on there?
It's taking my job from me.
Where my monitors, the battery's low.
Oh.
And Tino said Urban's about to be a one and done. Yeah.
No, dude, I'm sure he'll go back to college. That's the thing. Like, I legit think he's senile. Like I think he's got some issues going on in his head.
One and done in the NFL. I think that's what he means.
Oh man, somebody was talking about this comment because he said that he's gonna start using James Robinson more, and someone said something like you can't even be or your wife can't even trust you. How am I supposed to be able to trust you? Shit's so
Nap.
Oh my god! I think I saved the screenshots and oh man, the comment was like perfect. I'm like, yeah, I mean, kind of agree with that.
And Dynasty Pylon said if Jefferson was drafted this year, Chase last year, which LSU guy would be more productive considering Chase was number one in LSU, but JJ was a better fit for Burrow, than Chase with Cousins or as is. I mean, either one would be a better fit with Burrow. It's because he has the rapport.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy how it worked out, though.
It's the same either way, honestly. I think they're both going to be. Those two are going to be, the top. Definitely the top 5 wide receivers every year for the next, 5 or so years.
Yeah.
So someone asked a question like, would you drop James Robinson? Someone's like, I rage dropped him. He said fantasy playoffs, and I'm being asked to trust Urban Meyer. His wife can't, so how can I? It's fucking about pissing myself. Dude. That's just so funny.
We can trust him because he's a winner.
And Austin says, question next year, would y'all drive JJ or Cup? He said, I'd go JJ.
I agree with that. I think Justin Jefferson, the way that he's been playing, he definitely didn't have a sophomore slump. He still had a really great year. I think that's going to continue into next year. And then with Cup, I think that with OBJ in there, with Van Jefferson in there, with Woods, I mean, just going to be too many mouths to feed. I think next season, I think that this was a magical fucking season for that guy. And goddamn, he deserves every fucking accolade and praise that he gets. That kid fucking fantasy player of the year, probably. But I think he's definitely gonna see some regression next season. So I'd go JJ.
I slightly go in Cup here, but also it's because I don't know if Kirk Cousins is gonna be there next year because he's a free agent. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be some places where he might be able to go, and his agent.
All right, we'll have Aaron Rodgers next year.
He is not going.
Oh shit!
Why the hell not?
Would you imagine that?
He is not.
Damn.
He's not pulling a Brett Favre.
He'd have two elite receivers instead of one.
Yeah,
he'd have one of the best running backs in the league.
Hold on. Traded there though.
Hold on.
Dude, Justin Jefferson makes an argument for the number 1 pick if that happens. I'll tell you that.
Here's the tradition for the Minnesota Vikings. Here's a tradition for Green Bay Packers quarterbacks. They got to go someplace else for 1 year.
And then they have Jordan Love, bro. They're about to trade Jordan Love.
He's a joke. He's worse. He's worse than Kellen Mond.
Jordan Love is garbage.
Oh, damn.
Teddy Bridgewater is making a miraculous return to where it all started.
Minnesota, baby.
Teddy Roosevelt, president.
Stuck again.
I don't know. Well, Minnesota could be in the sweepstakes and they could try to get Wilson too.
Yeah, that would be.
If Teddy Roosevelt is the quarterback there next year, bro, I'm taking Cup.
Shit, I might be even okay with fucking Jimmy G just coming here for a year if they get a
quarterback. Hey, Jimmy G will look handsome in one of those Eskimo coats. You know what I mean? He's gonna have all the snow bunnies.
All right, so real quick, so we're out of questions here, but before we wrap it up, I got to remind everyone. So next Tuesday, we're going to be doing our first episode of Movies and Munchies, our movie podcast, and we're going to be breaking down some Christmas movies, talking about that. We got a handful of people on the panel. You guys already know them. And then we're voting right now on, it's going to be the next show that we do. We're going to do a Sweet 16 of sorts. And we made a list last night of 127
Yeah.
127 sports movies. Everyone who was on here, we were just throwing out as many movies as we can think of. We need everyone to go vote on this. I threw the link in the chat right now. It's within the fantasy football advice group, the experts, gurus, and beginners. When you get into the group, you just go look in the featured posts, and you'll see it up there. So right now, let me see where we got for the top 16. We got Remember the Titans and Happy Gilmore, 1 and 2. The Sandlot and Waterboy at 3 and 4.
Ooh, that's a great top 4 right there.
That is a damn good top 4.
Major League and Rocky at 5 and 6.
Top 6 even.
Wow, killing it.
Moneyball and Friday Night Lights at 7 and 8.
You lost me at Moneyball.
I have Moneyball.
That was boring.
It's
Dodgeball and Varsity Blues, that gets us to 9 and 10.
That's
Cool
okay.
Runnings and Any Given Sunday, 11 and 12.
Okay,
Cool Runnings.
right?
Blindside and Coach Carter
John
for
Candy.
13 and 14.
Look at John Candy. John Candy got another reference on the show.
There you go. I love that little speech that he gives, like well, I can't remember the whole thing, but he's doing the fucking, the church thing, the what do you call that? I don't remember. But the give us this day or daily bread, that whole thing.
Yeah,
but he's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it about on Earth as it is in turn 7, instead of having, like that kind of shit. That fucking speech was so funny. I love that guy.
And then the last two that we got here are Space Jam and The Longest Yard as of right now.
The original Space Jam.
Yes, the
Yeah,
original. We
There's
made
no
sure
other
that-
space. There's
Hell
no
of a-
other Space Jam.
Hell of a soundtrack.
Don't ever bring up the LeBron Space Jam.
And then right on the outside looking in, we got White Man Can't Jump, Field of Dreams, The Replacements, Rookie of the Year, Talladega Nights, A League of Their Own, Karate Kid, Angels in the Outfield, Little Giants. We need more votes, guys.
That whole 10 right there, that last. That
I'm a little upset that
Dude.
Tin Cup isn't up there a little higher.
those are all
How is
going
Field of
crazy.
Dreams not higher up, man? That's crazy.
We
Yeah.
need more votes. That's why.
And Karate
We
Kid for
need
that
more
matter.
votes. Because you can vote on as many movies as you want. You can vote on as many movies as you want.
What's that?
Hey, so what? So tell me, what's the Tuesday show? What is that? Next Tuesday, you said?
It's going to be next Tuesday, and it's going to be at 8 p.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. Pacific.
You got room on that?
I do, if you can make it.
I can make it. Put me
All
on.
right.
Hell
So
yeah.
we need to know. We're picking an adult-ish movie, and then we're picking more of like a family kids movie. So we're picking 2 movies each. We're all going to try to watch as many of them as we can between now and then. That's why we starting it up like a week early or whatever. And but what we're doing, I picked The Night Before as my adult movie. JC Money picked Christmas Vacation. Taco picked Jingle All the Way. Bogard picked Bad Santa. And then for the kids movies, I still haven't picked one yet. I'm letting everyone kind of decide theirs. I'm going to pick mine at the end.
What? See that's the thing, is like, where does A Christmas Story land? Is that adult or kids?
Well, I mean, it's whatever you want it to be.
Jingle All the Way is a kid, like kind of a kids movie too. But
I would say that's more of a kids movie, and Taco's like, that's kind of adultish. I'll use that for my adultish one, because it's still
there
one
are
that,
some adult
if you can stomach it as an adult, that's what I mean by
So
adult.
it's kind of us to it. It's a discretion, so to speak.
Yeah, because I went the night before. I went full adult movie,
Oh,
with that for that. But I mean, it's
So
just
has
way
anyone
more
taken A
fun.
Christmas Story yet?
No.
I want Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Love that.
And I did Santa Claus for my kids one because Tim Allen, dude, this shit's so funny.
Oh yeah, dude.
The part where they're at Denny's, he's like, "This is nice." After you
And-
burn the turkey. Did you burn a turkey?
And Ward said, "Where do you vote?" I put the link in the chat right now. You can go click on that. It's this one right here. It's the Facebook group /FF Advice 420, and this is the actual like link to the post. But if you get to the group, it's in the featured posts. Ooh, Higher Learning, that's a good one. Yeah, and let me see. And Anthony said, Rocky. So make sure you go vote. Everyone go vote. You can vote on as many movies as you want. I mean, I picked a bunch. I maybe picked like, I don't know, like half of them, maybe 40% of them.
Yeah, me
Something, just all the ones that I like. And it's whatever ones are in the top 16. We're gonna keep this up until next Tuesday, until this next podcast goes. And I think I want to keep this going on Tuesdays just because it's kind of a dead day for news, and we'll kind of get this rolling right now before we get into the off season. Let's see. Yeah, and Antonio said the night before. Hell yeah. So you better be able to stay up that night, Antonio. We're starting at 8 your time. I know you go to bed kind of early. Yeah, Anthony said higher learning as a kid going through college sports. Yeah.
Dude, Mr. Green is like my favorite part of that whole movie.
He's
Like
the
his
man.
whole shit. Like, hey man, I got a party going on later if you want to come by. Like all nonchalant, and he's actually talking about that huge ball, like that's that they're actually trying to go to.
Yeah.
No, we got something else going on.
It's like, oh, it's all right. My feelings aren't hurt. Not really. He's like, it's not in my car. It's, that's an actual party.
What's Seth Rogen's name? Like Elijah or like
I can't remember off the top of my head.
He's like, tell him I'll see him. He's like, tell him I'll see him in a couple hours.
Isaac.
Yeah, he's like, tell Isaac I'll see him in a few hours. He's like, what?
Like, what?
And
Tino said I'm gonna go for all of them. You can go for as many as you want, but it's not. I mean, if you just go one for across the board, it helps a lot of movies, but it hurts other ones as well. So you got to pick the ones that you really like.
The bowl of Christmas present.
Yeah. Antonio said you're present. You're in the present. I don't know. I must just be high.
Yeah, shit's so fucking funny.
And so there is going to be one topic that we talk about that is outside of those movies, and it is going to be alternative Christmas movies. Movies that aren't really considered Christmas movies, but the diehards of the world. Stu just said Lethal Weapon, best Christmas movie ever. So we're going to have a segment in there. It's going to be about alternative Christmas movies. More or less, we'll just be bringing up ones and why, and things like that.
I can't remember what it was. There was one that I thought about the other day. I was like, oh wait, does that count? I'll have to remember it by then. But yeah,
according to my wife, any movie that has snow in it is a Christmas movie.
Scarface.
How about that?
Scarface.
Right.
Blow.
Got a lot of snow in there.
Blow for sure.
Yep. Antonio said blow right there. Yep. Definitely.
Which is funny. Or a Hustle and Flow, like Snow Bunny.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, let me see. And Stu said Die Hard, okay. So Lethal Weapon, second best Christmas movie ever.
Oh no, what about Batman Returns?
Oh, it's definitely got to be.
Yeah. For sure. There's a big Christmas
opening. Tree. Yeah, it's like the whole opening scene, right?
Yeah. I mean, for those of people that like, people don't think of Batman Returns as being a Christmas movie, but it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're just gonna open the ball of wax on like the or can of worms or whatever reference you want to use, just on these alternative ones, movies that are like, yeah, Gremlins, yeah, because I mean the thing wasn't he a Christmas present? I swear he was.
Yeah, he was.
So there we go. Yeah, movies, these alternative Christmas movies that they're not really Christmas movies, but I don't even know what we would count it, because I was gonna say being based around Christmas, but like snow. If there's snow in there, that could be Christmas time. If we see Christmas trees randomly, I mean, Die Hard's a Christmas movie because it takes place at a Christmas party, right?
Hustler got to experience Christmas snow.
What about the Ref? Have you guys seen that one with Dennis Leary, the Ref? Oh god, you got to see that shit. So what happens is like he's like a burglar or some shit, and he's like he keeps this family hostage. Over, and it's during Christmas. They got Christmas trees and shit, but the family is like fucking they're all just so dysfunctional. And so he's having to fucking like be the counselor essentially for the family. And it's just funny, dude. You gotta check it out. It's good shit.
Hell yeah.
30 Days a Night is a fucking awesome movie. Josh Hartnett.
And Anthony said, what are the subscriptions at? If we're talking about the YouTube subscribers, we're at 2432, so 68 away from the Darius Leonard signed jersey giveaway. We're super, super close. So tell your friends, get them to come get subscribed over here. And Stu said, I got to talk about Andor and show kind of Christmas shit. Just can't just be the snow. Hey, I mean, everyone's got their own opinions.
I gained 2 subscribers since being on this show. So for whoever you 2 people are, thank you so much.
There we go. And Anthony said Elf and A Christmas Story for sure. We watched Elf recently, and I watched Christmas Story too. So that'll be good. And
surprised you watched Elf.
Well, I mean, it's not my choice to put it on, but
He doesn't like Will Ferrell.
I'm not going to be
Hey,
a grin.
if you call that a kids and an adult right there, boom. If they're not taken, I'll take those two.
There we go.
Elf and
They're
Christmas
not taken as of now. Yep, Batman Returns, Gremlins. There you go. All right. Well, we're gonna get up out of here. Tyrant, before we get out of here, why don't you tell everyone where to find you at?
Hey, yeah, thanks. You can find me on YouTube, The Fantasy Tyrant, of course. I've got my morning show tomorrow morning, the Thursday B&B, Thursday benches and bumps, sits and starts, however you want to call it. But I'm just going to go over the Thursday game, who my starts and sits are from that while having breakfast in bed. I do that every Thursday morning. So come see me. Come snuggle up with the Tyrant. Hey, come check me out then. Of course, I've got shows all week. Plus, remember, I still got the signed DeAndre Swift jersey that you can win. Check out in my description there below. I've got the Venmo, fucking PayPal. If you can't, you hit me up on Patreon. All for all donations this month, 50% are going to Dornbecker Children's Hospitals. So you can help me while helping children and get yourself a nice little signed jersey there. So there you go.
That's dope.
And JC Money, tell them about your giveaway that you got going on.
All right, you can go follow me on Instagram and or Twitter at JC Money Design. I'm doing a giveaway. I'm doing here. I'll grab it. Got a signed T. Higgins mini helmet.
Ooh, nice.
Out of my personal collection.
Fuck yeah.
So just go you follow me on Instagram. I got a graphic there with all the details of how you can get entries.
Woo woo. And Tino said Tyrant needs to be speaking in the locker room. His voice has motherfuckers running through brick walls. There we go.
Fuck yeah, dude. But hey, I made jokes about it. Like, hey, you get me in a Pee-wee football league, I'll have them motherfuckers run like, oh shit, I'll have them running plays. Like people are like, what the fuck's going on? These are fucking kids. Why you have them run like a fucking man, dude? Trust me, I would have them motivated as shit. I'd be bringing up some Belichick shit. I'd be having people videotaping the other team. I'd be legit, man.
And you guys already know where to find me, Fantasy Football Hustler everywhere. Just go to fantasyfootballhustler.com there. And we got the Real Fantasy Playmakers going down tonight, so make sure you tap back in on that. It's at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. It's going to be streaming here. It's going to be streaming on the GMM Network. It's going to be good time, so make sure you guys tap in. We're talking some playoff scenarios. All right. We are out. We'll see you guys later. Peace.
Peace.